I'll make you famous.
Because I'm a cowboy! Oh, man!
And now, your mama knows.
29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
What are you, fucking nuts? You thought...
Subscribe to the most epic channel on YouTube for live streams every week. Daily videos. Subscribe. Bruce, unleash the baby god dragon.
What's going on, guys? It's the Cowboy King of Entertainment, and I'm back with another video. And I want to start this thing off by congratulating my best friend Matt for getting married this Sunday. And it was crazy. He had a Star Wars wedding. So if you guys get a chance, check that video out. It was crazy, but he literally had a Star Wars wedding, meaning he had everyone dressed up as a Star Wars character. I dressed up. He was dressed up. His wife was dressed up. Everybody dressed up. He had people walk down, the stormtroopers. I mean, it was crazy. It was epic, and it was really cool, man. I got to, fly out to Arkansas and be the best man in his wedding, and it was cool. He was literally the best man at my wedding, my second wedding. But I'm a little late today because we had 2 flights to come back, right? So our first flight got delayed 4 different times. So it was supposed to be at 7 and ended up being at 10:30. Well, because it's their Central Time or Eastern Time, by the time we got home, it was 12:30, making us miss our flight. And lo and behold, the next flight wasn't until 7:30 in the morning. So we had to stay the night in the airport. So by the time we got home this morning, we had so much stuff we were wanting to do, and we didn't get to do everything. We only got to do one thing, to be honest with you. So we had to go to the mall and get our jewelry inspected and cleaned. to keep the warranty on it. So with that being said, guys, I can't believe I'm finally home and finding out the news yesterday of Gears of War is coming to PlayStation. So with that being said, guys, this show is going to be jam-packed. It's going to be epic. You guys might be debating and going crazy because it's going to get real, because this is keeping it real with the Cowboy. So we also got to talk about Xbox raising their prices. They're following suit with Nintendo. Yes, I blame it on Nintendo. If you give a company an inch, they'll take a mile. If you give another company an excuse, they'll jump on it. So all we can do is hope that PlayStation decides to use the fact that everybody else is higher to not go higher, and it'll actually make them look better. And so I don't think Xbox and Nintendo will come down, but either way, maybe there'll still be a company that won't go that high. It's just wild. So I know Purple Haze was going to show up today. I got to shift my energy. I mean, if she still come on, I'm going to still let her have it. But the focus is definitely on Xbox, I think, right? Like this Gears of War thing is big. So make sure you check out my new videos I'm doing called One Takes. Pretty much kind of like Doc Dark. I kind of got, my theory from Doc, not my theory, but I got the idea from watching Doc Dark videos all the times. He's the world's worst editor. You even see him press start and press off and on, but he does one take, right? And so I was like, you know what? I love editing, but sometimes it takes hours, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, what if I try a one take, right? I'll just sit in front of the camera, I'll give my thoughts, and that'd be it. And I remember my son saying, I remind him of Pat McAfee or Joe Rogan, where they just kind of like touch different topics and just give their opinions, and that's it. So I was like, you know what? Let me just try that and really tell myself, bros, do not edit. Just put it out there, throw it out to the world, and just put your opinion out. So I want to thank all you guys who've been watching the One Takes, because they've been doing really good, like really good. People have been watching them and commenting, a lot of feedback. So I'm just taking some prominent stories that come up and bring them up. But yeah, I think that's it for me. Yeah, I mean, if you guys get a chance, check out that the wedding video. And I got a bunch of other videos coming from being in Arkansas. Crazy to think. I never thought I would go to Arkansas, but here I am. So with that being said, if you guys are new to the channel, I put out vlogs. I do product reviews, movie reviews, gaming. You name it, it's all on this channel. Been on here since 2011. On Tuesdays, I do this show, Keeping It Real with the Cowboy. And you guys, in a moment, I'm going to throw the link out. You guys are able to click on the link, join the show, and actually be able to chat it up with me as well. You can join the show just being in the comments, or you can join the show as being on the actual panel. So either way, whatever makes you feel comfortable. You could also block your face. You don't have to show your face at all either. And then usually later on that night, I like to stream. So lately I've just been doing Monster Hunter streams. But because I was gone the whole weekend, if the show ends in time for me to go to the movies, because I want to see the Thunderbolts or New Avengers, since they changed the name, I would like to go see that if possible. But this comes first. And then on Wednesdays, I do a wrestling league called We Wrestle Wednesdays. It's a lot of fun. So definitely check that out if you can. And I stream randomly on other times, as well. So with that being said, you guys got an idea of the channel. And anything goes down on my channel. So don't come here expecting to see the same stuff. You never know. I might just start doing some curls in the middle of my talking. I was gone all weekend, didn't get to work out at all. So I just wanted to, do a couple curls and then get the show started. Get the guns up, you know what I mean? Work on the peaks a little bit. All the way down. Come up. All right. That feels right. All right, guys. So I'm going to grab a chair. I hope you grab a chair. And let's get the show started. All right. So first things first, say what's up to the people in the chat. my man Michael Pannon. I call you Cowboy. My boy Obi Rose. Obi, I just want to say something to you, bro. Welcome to the Chosen Zone, the gun show. All right. Good times. Welcome to the Cowboy Zone. Ooh, I like that. Goon Squad, what's going on? All right, so we got a bunch of people in. Let's get the show started, man. So let me drop the link so anybody could join the show. Just as long as you guys keep it, cool. Like you curse and stuff like that, but just don't be all crazy because I'll throw you up out of here. So just know that. But I'll let anybody join. We had some one new guy came on a couple weeks ago, a guy that watched Dark stuff. His name is Devil. And he was a cool dude. So, yeah, anybody is welcome to join the show. But this thing is going to be a little firecracker today, man. Oh, Lion is in the house. Hold on real quick. Set my goal. Oh, man, he's in the building. Okay. All right, give me a moment. All right, put my goal out there. Okay, and put my glasses on. Clean them real quick, guys. This is gonna be the show. This is gonna be the show. Matter of fact, I think before FCAT gets on, I might have to do a little rant. All right. And before I do this little rant, I gotta be honest, right? Let me see. Gunga said, "Man, everyone playing Last of Us 2 again." Yeah, I mean the show makes you want to play it. I still didn't watch the other part though. So here's the thing. Before I say what I gotta say, I just want you guys to know this channel, you're able to say what you want, respectively. All right. Nobody's bullying you. Nobody's censoring you. I don't like to censor people. Okay. But I will say this. You're going to hear some things you don't agree with. And I always say any of you guys could debate me or debate anybody else. This is a debate thing. So this is the, public opinion, right? So people in the chat, they could say you either keeping it real or not. That's not on me. But what I will say is before I say what I got to say, I just want you guys to know this, okay? Don't be mad at me for what I'm about to say.
Man the fuck up.
With that being said, I have to say this. And I don't know who agrees or disagrees, but Xbox just lost to PlayStation for real. Now, I know a bunch of people been saying it. I know Doc Dark made his video of Tony the Pony, and he said, who would still say Xbox lost? But no, today is a definitive loss. Today is a definitive wave the white flag. Now, I know Phil Spencer a while back said, yes, we lost the most important console award, and they're not trying to compete anymore, blah, blah, blah. And I know they have been putting their games on other platforms. But as far as the console war, so if you find yourself as a person who likes the console war, your team Xbox, your team PlayStation, your team Nintendo, children for children, regardless of what team you find yourself on, yesterday is etched in history, right? Because I always felt once you put your primary, your premier game on the competitor platform, you have submitted. You bent the knee, you said uncle, you got the noogie on your forehead, whatever you want to call it. So, as of yesterday, the announcement came out that Microsoft will be putting Gears of War 1, called Gears of War Reloaded, on PlayStation. And why is that a big deal? It's a big deal. I don't care how long you liked Xbox. I don't care if you're going to say Xbox is going to make more money. I don't care if you say PlayStation has no games and the only games that they have are Xbox games. I don't care if you say every time somebody buy an Xbox game on PlayStation, Xbox makes money. That doesn't matter because in the grand scheme of console wars. You have submitted to the other side when you said you guys could have our premier games. And I know you're going to say that Forza was already on PlayStation, but Forza is just a racing game. There's nothing extra special about Forza besides it being a most epic, amazing racing game. But that's it. It'll never win Game of the Year. It's just a racing game. And it's a damn great racing game. But it's just a racing game. But Gears of War was a game of a generation. Gears of War helped sell Xboxes. Gears of War helped Xbox gain its identity to be above PlayStation. And now Gears of War will be on PlayStation? It's a wrap. The console war is over. So what I want you guys to do is whenever somebody says to you, console wars, Xbox is better, PlayStation is better, Nintendo's for kids, but it's better, you just simply say, bro, calm down. Newsflash. I don't know if you noticed or not, but Gears of War is coming to PlayStation in August. It's a wrap. It's over. There is nothing else for you, me, anybody else to talk about. Sure, we can have conversations. Sure, we could laugh and joke. Sure, we could troll each other. But the console war is over. That knee, the proverbial knee, has been bent. That head has been bowed. Let me show you. You don't understand? This is Xbox. One knee, hand out, head is bowed. PlayStation, take Gears of War. You have won. That's it. I don't care. Get mad. But that is how it goes. This is console wars. And you just can't let your, can you imagine God of War being on Xbox? Damn, I grabbed the wrong shit. Check it out. The pink chair, I grabbed my wife's chair. We play video games together, so she got her chair in here. Can you imagine Gears of God of War going to Xbox? Can you imagine The Last of Us being on Xbox? Can you imagine any Naughty Dog game? Uncharted? Can you just... Guys, it's over. So with that being said, I just say this. If you do this, you won't get your feelings hurt. Gaming without limits. Play the games that interest you because you are a gamer. Don't put any other asterisks on it. Well, because I like Phil Spencer. Well, because I think the shape of the PlayStation looks cool. Well, because I'm a child and I love Nintendo. No, man. Let it go. Because you will be fooling yourself. And I just wanted to say that before everybody else came on. Now, I'm going to go to the chat. I'm going to bring the guys on. And I got a certain formality I want to do. So whenever we have a topic, I'll get the people on the show. I'll start first. And when I get through everybody, then you guys in the comments will be next up. So with that being said, let's get through all the comments to see what you guys are saying. Let me see. So Lion said, you wild for saying Xbox have to bend the knee. Both knees, bro. LOL. Hey, listen, I didn't say if it was both or not. I'm just saying they got to bend that knee. My brother just got home, was going to join, but I'm tired and definitely don't care to talk about that other platform. Laying on the couch, you're on big screen. Yo, my man, Murder, thanks for having me on the big screen. Lion, what up, bro? Let's go, Dodge Man said. Hey, listen, let's congratulate Dodge Man. He is currently waiting for his child to be born. So definitely want to congratulate you, Dodge Man. Yeah, man. and I hope you have a safe, the baby and everything is safe, and the delivery, everything goes good for your child and your wife. Also want to congratulate my friend Matt, who got married yesterday and had a no yesterday what's today, Tuesday, on Sunday, and had a Star Wars wedding. If you guys didn't see, go check out the video on my page. But give it up to him. He's my best friend, lives in Arkansas. I flew out there, and I actually have another video coming because we got stuck in the airport last night. Had to sleep overnight in the airport because of a delay. But give it up to Matt and his lovely wife, Betty. All right, now, Lions, what's good to Obi? Dodger said no baby yet, so I'm staying tuned in. Let's go. Nanny Lane, Joe, okay, I'm not sure about any of that, but okay, next gen game over Joe. All right. All right, so Nanny, you're getting out of hand with the spamming, Nanny. But I appreciate the love. But I will tell you this: YouTube might just kick you. So you gotta remember, YouTube don't play them games. For the record, Halo is the premier game. No, Halo is, but Gears of War, I would have to say, is just, well, I think Halo definitely is the top Xbox game of all time. But Gears of War has to be number 2. Has to be, right? Where you play it, am I correct? No, so I was a big fan of Gears of War, bro. I played and beat every Gears of War years ago, so I don't need to play and beat it again because I've already done that. Yeah, I don't have any care to do it again. Nanny Elaine, get the hell out of here with this spam BS. Yeah, Nanny, you about to get yourself up out of here, weirdo. Dang, you said they have the bend the knees. What do you mean, bro? That's just how it goes. Like concede, like bend the knee, like not. You know what I'm talking about. I was in the line and bought Gears of War when it was released, and I totally agree. Xbox is dog ass, and I don't care how much money they make. Killed their console brand recognition. Now, here's the thing, though. Let me read the rest of it. Why they holding dang? Hold up. Why they hold? Okay, got it. Lame. Vet said lame. Said is the Xbox hater show? No, not at all, man. These dudes are Microsoft gamers, not Xbox gamers. Hey, when one nation conquered the other, they took the spoils of war and the woman and just have at it. The conquered nation didn't say, ha ha ha, we won. Some you have our women and our stuff. Now, it's funny. That's kind of how it feels, right? They won, so they took their games. Well, they didn't take their games, but they won, so they gave their games over. Correct. Congrats to Dodge, man. All right. So I will say this, though. Now, in all fairness, it's all fun to joke, right? But Xbox ain't stupid. Now, while on the console wars, we might say they bent the knee, on the business side, think about it. They lose money for making consoles. So now, if they want to slow down making consoles because they raised the price, and some people, I'm sure they know that the sales are going to go down. But for them, they're probably like, dude, we're raising the price for people not to buy the consoles so we can save money. 2, they own some of the biggest IPs in gaming. Just say Oblivion. Just say Elder Scrolls. Just say Gears of War, right? Say Call of Duty. Say Doom. These games are going to be all over, and they're going to make money like crazy and not lose as much money in the process. So I think Xbox definitely is going to be doing good as far as bringing in a profit, right? But as far as the console wars go, man, it's not good. Not good at all. Let me see. Oh, Rudig's in the building. Hold up. Let's see what Vet said. Vet said they didn't kill their brand recognition. I mean, everybody knows what Xbox is. I don't think that'll ever go away. So that's the cool thing, Let's say Xbox and PlayStation are working together to take as much money from gamers as possible. I listen. I think the strategy is PlayStation might be helping Xbox do what they want to do, which is not focus on the consoles. Hell, I'll still play my Series X 5.0. There, I mean, at the end of the day, why would you not play your consoles? There always been Microsoft gaming. They were that, period. All right. They were that prior to the Xbox, my bad. I've been saying that Microsoft is moving towards mobile and handheld gaming as Microsoft Gaming. You also said cloud too. Don't leave that out. I have to say I'm PC gaming more and more nowadays, thanks to Steam and my ROG Ally. That's cool, but you're more of a handheld gamer. Y'all just listen to FCAT instead. Yo, swag surfing, just so y'all know, right? My man Rudigs. Let me see. We know that not to you, but we know they have Game Pass and will make a bunch of money. We know always y'all have a good night. I'm out. I don't do cap anymore and Dodge, man. Me too. All right, later, 5-0. I'll see you tomorrow for We Wrestle Wednesdays. All right. Let's see. I hear you, Trey. I'm bored with the nonsense. All right, cool. So with that being said, I'm gonna bring on none other than, let's go to this guy because he haven't been on here in a little bit. So I'm gonna bring up my man, none other than the guy who surfs through the stores looking left and right because he's gonna catch them all. None other than the legendary Rain the Collector. Rain, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's up, everyone? How y'all doing?
Man, I'm good. How are you doing?
Tired. I got off of work today, so
All right. You're getting old, man. You're getting old.
man,
Bro,
say
wait, isn't your graduation coming up?
yeah, next week.
Damn, how you feeling about that, man?
Dude, I'm so ready, man. Get it over with.
That's cool. That's cool. And you'll be out of high school, right?
Yeah.
Damn, bro. This is a whole new chapter, man. It's
Oh yeah,
big.
man. Speaking of that, I got something to send you. I need your address.
All right, cool. I'll get it to you.
Alrighty.
I will. How you want me to send it to you? In a PlayStation?
Either that or Discord. One or two.
Okay. I'll do Discord.
Alrighty.
All right, let me bring in. Well, before I go on, man, real quick, what's your thoughts on Xbox putting Gears of War on PlayStation? Let me just get a quick little. What's your take?
I heard a rumor that they were going to talk about putting a lot of their exclusives and stuff on PlayStation just so they can expand like gaming and everything and not have exclusives. But I mean, hey, if that is what they want to do, that's what they want to do. In the long run, they're going to make more money out of it
I agree.
because they got more people they can sell to than just Xbox players.
I agree, 100%. Now, in the console war space, though, how do you think they look? You know, there's obviously the regular world and there's the console war world.
To me, they look stronger, but that's my personal opinion.
Okay.
Because I mean, they're gonna have more people playing their games.
Okay.
Rather.
Listen, that speaks volumes. All right, let me go to the next person up. I'll be right back with you. None other than the dastardly individual himself. Sometimes where he walks, fire follows, but none other than the PlayStation loving, PlayStation hat wearing, PlayStation kiss stealing and wheeling and dealing. TPG. TPG, what's the word, man? Ooh.
Death of Xbox. That's the word of the day.
So
Words of the day.
As a console war, I'll do the reverse thing. What's your thoughts?
Far as like the console wars go, well, it's nice. Microsoft finally recognized where they should have been at the whole time. The bottom bitch.
I mean,
kissing a Sony boot, man.
I don't think somebody should be mad at you. I mean, I think if you ask me, you putting one of your premier games on the competitor, yeah,
that's the submission. That's the Gunther tapping out to Jey Uso moment.
Yeah, that's really it. Yeah. Now, what do you think on the other side, of the flip side? How do you feel about the business tactic, though, as far as
business-wise? I think it's actually incredibly smart. Like, you know, more games get it sold because PlayStation gamers are going to buy them, and it gets their brand to expand further than where they've already gone. I mean, think about it now. You have the possibility of, with Gears of War, for example, you have Gears of War players on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox all playing together. That's something you can't replace.
Yes. That's power.
Exactly. So at the end of the day, hey, you know what? It's good business. It sucks they had to raise the price of their console for a console that no one's really buying.
Right.
But hey, you know, No one said no one said executives were smart.
Well, here's the thing. It's almost like they want to force people to buy it.
I actually watched your video and you were talking about that. I was like, you know what? He's kind of onto something here. Like, why now of all times? Like the $80. Listen, I'm gonna say this right now. It's gonna make me sound a little stupid, but I don't have a problem paying $80 for a game I'm interested in.
Correct.
If I want to pay $80 for a game, that's my God-given right. But I don't think it should be standard. I don't think it should be standard across the board because not every game is worth $80, as we see with games like Assassin's Creed Shadows or Redfall, for example.
Right. Yeah, that's deep. Wait. Why you say Assassin's Creed Shadows?
Well, it's just because when I was watching other YouTuber play the game, it was just like it didn't scream AAA quality, or at least like $80 quality.
Okay, I thought my consensus that I thought was that a lot of people liked it.
Well, yeah, a lot of people like it, but it's like you kind of liking the aspect of like, oh, it could be worse.
So maybe it could have been a $49.99 game. You think?
Yeah, could have been a GameFly game, as Cowboy in Cowboy terms.
Listen. Well, look, let me pull you off. Let me get the next person on. I'm gonna bring everybody back on, but TPG, don't go nowhere because we will be right back with you. So guys, coming on next is none other than when I raise my hand up and I point up high. Do you know where I'm pointing? I'm pointing to the north. I'm pointing to Canada because none other than the Mr. Swag Surfer himself, the coolest dude, I swear he's from Jersey. Hey, listen, man, ask your parents. I know you was born in Jersey because it's none other than Captain Canada himself, Rudy. Let's go. Ru, now you notice.
Yo.
All my intros always got to be you and me. We're bringing the lightning, baby.
Yeah.
So listen, man, two sides of it. And you're a businessman, so it's cool to definitely, you had a couple different businesses and stuff you've done that you actually have. So let me ask you the business side first. What's your thoughts of Xbox putting their games everywhere? Do you feel that's a smart business move? What's your thought?
Absolutely. I mean, I think they're going to make more money being a publisher than a console provider. I think that is the transitional shift they need to make. However, they need to do something when it comes to the next console generation because I don't know why someone would go out and buy an Xbox when your entire catalog will be on the PlayStation anyways. So they'll have to do something. They'll have to do something original there. But otherwise, I mean, they're making hand over fist putting their games on PlayStation. So it's definitely the green light to keep bringing more and more there.
Now, what's your thoughts? I mean, I know Gears of War is going to sell like crazy. That was if you only was a PlayStation guy, I know you heard at some point, like, man, they got this game called Gears of War that looks amazing. So I know Gears of War is going to sell, I think. Now, granted, it's the old Gears of War, but the original Gears of War, for me, probably is the best Gears of War. But what's your thought as far as the console war look? How does this look to bring one of your probably your number 2 game to the competitor? What does that look like for console?
I mean, people from the console war will say, hey, your catalog's over here. But then the people on Xbox will say, hey, well, it's on Game Pass, our subscription. So right now, they're both even in those terms. However, I just think this is a short-term play for Xbox because I think the value of having it on a subscription is slowly going to fade when you don't have a console with as big as catalog. So you're taking a hit there or you're taking a hit here. And if you don't want to take any hits, then you're paying double. So, I mean, gaming is the most expensive I think it's ever been. And PlayStation and Xbox are definitely winning.
Wow. Well, speaking of hits, let me pop you off and bring somebody back on real quick because coming in is none other than if we talk about hits, we're going to bring in my guy, the guy with so much power, unlimited power. Some people say his energy match and exceed mine. But when we talk about hits, we're going to bring in Hit Box Roll.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a public service announcement made by Hitbox Rose. Everything that he says is nothing but for entertainment purposes. With that being said, welcome to the Chosen.
Yo!
Yo, what up,
Bro,
Cowboy?
what's going on, man?
Oh, nothing. I'm chilling. I'm actually kind of busy, so it might be a little windy. I'm out here with the kids at the park. They
Okay.
riding their bikes. But I wanted to, I gotta mess with you. I gotta mess with you, right?
I
Because you
know it,
gonna
brother.
sit
I know it.
around
But it
and
wouldn't
you
be
gonna
you if you
say,
didn't.
you guys say Gears of War. Gears of War is their baby. You know what? Let me tell you what you
No, no,
sound
no.
like.
I said
You
it's
sound
one of their
this is
premier
my show.
games.
This is my
It's
show.
one of them.
This is my
Halo is
show now.
definitely the
I'm
top
taking
dog.
over this show. I'm taking over the show. You can't do nothing but be quiet.
All
That's
right,
simple.
bro.
Okay? You sound like a certain person that I know named Hitbox Rhodes, who at one point in time, what did he do? Oh my God, Xbox has Metal Gear Solid. What are we gonna do? Metal Gear Solid is a PlayStation exclusive. And now look at him. Let me give you the conspiracy theory, brother. It's very simple. In about 10 years, you're gonna see a merger between Xbox and PlayStation. You wanna know why? Because everything's going to be moved to the cloud. And what's going to end up happening is you're going to have to pay a little bit. You okay? I'm sorry, I'm watching the kids. Somebody just fell. You're going to have to pay probably, I don't know, $100 a year for a subscription service, maybe $200, depending on the price of GTA. Because we all know GTA is going to be like super expensive, right? It's going to be like $130, right? So we're the one who is paying for the subscription already by paying for these prices. So as it blows up and it keeps going, we're going to see this merger. It's going to be called PlayStation Box, and everybody's going to pay on a certain tier level $100 for 6 months, 129 for a year. But if you want that special tier, it's going to be like 180, and they're going to charge you the price for the game. That's all this is. It's just a merger to bring everything together. All right, I'm done, Cowboy.
So that's possible. Let me give you this. I don't know if you got to see one of my recent videos, but check this conspiracy theory out. You ready? I think Xbox, for the rest of this generation, they put their games on everything. Okay?
I
You ready?
agree.
You following
I
me?
agree. I agree.
Now, imagine if everybody get used to the flavor of an Xbox game. Oh, Nintendo got them, PlayStation got them, we all got them. We love Call of Duty, we love Gears of War, we love Forza, we love Halo, we love all these games, Oblivion, Morrowind, what all of these games, right? And imagine if the next gen console, Xbox, say, nah! Every last one of those games are now exclusive. The
And now
newer
what you got
version.
to do? Now you got to go
And
buy
now
the
you
Xbox.
must buy a Xbox.
You're screwed. They linked you
Bro,
into this, bro. Yeah.
hey, if they did that, that would instantly, like, I would be like, but now I love Gears of War. And you telling me the new Gears of War is only on Xbox? You telling me
Yeah.
the new, I mean, they can't do a Call
No,
of Duty
I'm gonna
because they
be
did
honest
a
with you.
10-year deal.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I always tried to keep both systems in my house because
Right.
I felt like they each had something. For me, it was obviously Metal Gear Solid and God of War, right? But then when, like you said, yo, Gears of War sold 360, bro. Gears of War is what really sold 360. So, yo, when I found that out, I was like, yo, you gotta be kidding me. Yeah, I'm gonna buy it. It's
I bet
already,
you are.
I was like, yo, I'm buying this already. It's a done deal, you know?
So,
So,
look, TPG said Playbox is a better name.
Playbox works. You know what I mean?
That's got a
Whatever.
ring to it.
Yo, whatever
TPG
the name
said,
is, I guarantee you that's what it's going to. Because I don't.
wait.
What they need to figure out is they need to figure out how to make money. Because everything is in the cloud, bro. Everything. Yo, your DNA is in the cloud. You do a 23andMe, you ship it off, and they ship it back to you. You download your results from where? The cloud.
The cloud.
So what they're trying to figure out is how to make money off the consoles once they stop making the material.
Well, that's what Game Pass is for, because you could play a Game Pass on PC, Game Pass on your phone, Game Pass on whatever. So yeah, Cubini said old games on PS5, future sequels, Xbox only. There you go. No, I mean, Cubini, that's my conspiracy theory, that they would get you interested into their Xbox catalog, and then bam, one of the announcements before the next console come out, only on Xbox. You will buy Xbox. You will have to. But anyway, Hitbox, let me bring on the next person. I'm gonna bring everybody back on. So I know if you got pop off, pop back on, it's all good. All right. See, he's out playing with the kids, not even listening. All right. Anyways, coming on next, and then after this person, I'll bring everybody on. One of the most evil people I've ever met, because where he walks, everything must die. This guy escaped death himself because he flew from Pennsylvania to Japan and back, and neither one of his planes crashed. I'm talking about nobody else than the maker of Chaos.
What's
Maker, what's going on, man?
Nothing much, just gaming.
I love it, but I got two questions for you, man. One, I'll flip it. I'll switch it up. As far as console wars, how does Xbox brand look by bringing Gears of War to PlayStation? What's your thoughts?
I mean, it's kind of the way that they've been going, so I kind of expected this.
Mhm.
I thought it was going to be the full trilogy. I was shocked it was just the first game and that's it. But yeah, I think that's what the way forward. They want to make more money. Microsoft does anyway, so they're going to start putting more software in as many places as they can.
So that was my next question, was to ask you for as business, but I want to know, like, what's your, like, we get into console wars, right? You see QB already like, oh, PlayStation getting an old game. What you think, like, as far as console wars, does that look like?
I mean, I think it would be smart to like have them, start putting their games more and more on PlayStation, but then say to play it first, you need to have an Xbox, and then it might incentivize people to, get an kind of like what they did with Indiana Jones, where they release it 6 months prior on Xbox and PC, and then 6 months later coming to PlayStation.
Right. No, that probably would be good. Obi said he dropped his phone. Let me see. JD is in the building. Ryan Smith, what's up? And let me see. JD said, nah, you ain't asking the real question. Well, what's the real question, man? Let me know. I'll ask it. Say, hey, sorry, I had to go early during. Nah, not a problem at all. Don't even worry about. Oh, said, why can't PlayStation fans celebrate the win? Ooh, without being called toxic. Well, nobody has called me toxic yet, but I don't really consider myself a PlayStation fan. I play on PlayStation, but I don't like to be referred to as either or. But yeah, I don't scroll through Twitter as much. So I'm sure people are saying that, but I haven't heard that yet. But yeah, I can see Cubini's energy. I think it's not fair. I think PlayStation should be able to celebrate this win in the grand scheme of console wars. Now, I think Xbox is probably winning because of this financially, hopefully, but I think it just doesn't look good, right? And you go back and forth. First the measuring stick of console war is console sales, right? And we know who's winning between them two. And then the second measuring stick of console wars is games, right? And dare I say exclusives, right? So right now, where Xbox could finally get the jump on PlayStation, say we have way more exclusives than you, they can't do that because their exclusive games are going to PlayStation. It's like, damn, they even gonna get cheated out of if an Xbox game does get nominated for Game of the Year, finally. But if it's also on PlayStation, it doesn't count because it's not exclusive. So that's why it looks bad to me. But Maker, let me pop on another person, and I'm gonna bring everybody back on all together. Coming in is a gentleman who haven't been around for a while, but he blessed us with his appearance last week, and he's coming back today. The jump in the fold is none other than Ryan Smith. What's up, man?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Doing good, man. Just
Can you hear
it's a lot going on in gaming this week, and so want to get your thoughts on something, and I'm gonna bring everybody back on. So, two questions. One, what's your thoughts on the way Xbox look as far as console wars? Not being educated, not using your brain, but just a console war person. How does it look to put one of your premier games on the competitor platform?
I'm not so sure they're competitors anymore. I don't know that Xbox sees them that way. I think Xbox sees Sony as a vertical to make more money. I mean, since we last talked, that's when Xbox throws the prizes and everything. And you know, it's like, in my opinion, I actually now this kind of made me switch. I think Xbox is winning because now their games are being sold on PlayStation, PC, and them. And hey, if you want to have an exclusive Xbox console, then great, you can have that. But if you don't, that's cool. Just play our stuff wherever else.
Let me ask you a question, Ryan, because I know you was an Xbox guy, and you sound like you still are. So when
I'm a PlayStation.
Huh?
No, I was PC and Pony.
But let me ask you this. So as far as console warring, when the ABK deal was going on, and they was going to be able to get Doom, they was going to be able to get all these hit games, right? Do you think Xbox fans was like, oh man, it'd be great, they just put them on PlayStation and make more money? Or do you think Xbox fans were like, oh, we're gonna have all these banger exclusives?
No, I think that. Well, I mean, I know because I was talking to you back then too. Is that was the thing. That was the lure to Xbox. I mean, that was the whole thing about the console war is who has the most and the better exclusives. Right. But now it's like that's over.
Well, no, it's over now. But what I'm saying is, prior to this news, right? We go by normal, and I'm not trying to get you to you can answer however you want, but I'm just sensing. I think what JD said. I think this is the point. He said, "Why can't PlayStation fans celebrate the win?" And I think this is a win for them, but some Xbox people or some people are trying to spin it. So that's why I asked a two-part question. On one part, just to be honest, as console wars, me being almost 50 years old. Console wars was always, what do you have and what do I have? Yep. The moment a game is on both, it's like, okay, let's go back to what do you have, what do I have? But if all your stuff is on the other one, that's not a strong point. Yep. Now, the second part of the question you kind of answered, but if you want to elaborate more, which is, how do you, as far as business, what's your thoughts on that? And if you want to go in a little more detail.
I mean, in business, then I think that Xbox is making a smart move. PlayStation is almost trying it out. I mean, with PC at least, I don't know that PlayStation won't bring their games over to Xbox. I know there's a couple, but it definitely seems to be Xbox's deal. And if making money and having people buy your games is that is the game, then Xbox is winning that one.
Yeah, I agree. All right, well let me bring you right back on. But guys, I gotta save the best for last, because my right hand man, none other than, and he gets the special. I don't just announce this guy; he gets an intro. Let's bring in none other than F the Cat. F Cat.
Yo.
Sorry to have you back, man. I just wanted to bring you on.
I had this pulled up. I had this pulled up this whole time. You could have pulled it up this whole time.
I wanted to get each person's perspective,
My perspective in the console war as an OG Xbox guy. Pretty much kind of like how K9, how TK9, how he was the OG Xbox guy, and I called the any game up on Xbox after a while. But yeah,
like how his channel died.
Yeah, I always said, like, if Halo and Gears goes, that's it.
Me too.
That's for Xbox.
Listen, when I heard Gears was going, I was like, wait, is this for real or y'all trolling? I was like, it's a wrap.
I mean,
Like, that's it.
more than likely Halo is next. One Taylor goes, but that's pretty much it.
Bro. It don't even matter. You put Gears of War on there. Like, Halo
Yeah,
is going. Halo
right.
is going. Gears of War, man. And at first I thought it was like some little like side BS Gears of War or something I never heard of. I'm like, huh? And I looked, I was like, oh no, that's the staple. That's number one. But Purple's in the building. What's going on, Purple? Let me see. JD said facts. I ain't see no articles when Sega folded talking about they won. He said in any capacity. So yeah, let's pull up your stuff. I'm gonna bring everybody else on. But what's your thoughts about
there's a lot of
FCAT? Do you think
a lot of other stuff to talk about as well today. Business wise, I think they were forced to do it by the whatever. The FTC CMA people, they hired some people to watch over Xbox for like the whole 10-year deal to make sure they don't mess up. I think they are forcing Xbox fans to basically give up.
That's deep. Well, look, let me bring everybody on. You want to pull back up your thing, and I'll pull it on.
There you go.
All right. I don't think it's. I don't see it anymore. They got to give it back to me. But let me bring up all the people back on this. Okay.
There you go.
So here we go, guys. This is what we're gonna be pulling up. So let's get back on TPG. Let's bring up Rudigs. Let's bring up Rain the Collector and also the Maker Chaos. Purple Haze, if you jumping in, the link is down there, so you can just jump in and feel free. I will say this, Purple, I don't have the same energy. I was gonna roast yo today.
Oh goodness!
Too much stuff has happened. I don't have time to smack you around, Purple. So you got off easy today. So just be lucky. But if you want to join,
time was on Purple's side.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're a loser like she is, and you know what she said? No one likes a loser. We like a winner. TPG.
You're a winner, and you know what winners say. Fuck the losers who can't take a joke. Man the fuck up.
That's for you on Purple Haze.
On her pay.
All right. All right. So guys,
Purple.
Hey, I'm just saying, man. Microsoft announced a
Gears of War remaster. It's
PlayStation. Wait, I think I'm echoing. Let's
Hello.
see. ISO. What's up, ISO? Purple says she's gonna let me live another day. No, you just.
It's come from FCAT.
Oh, okay. All right. Let's see. Testing. Okay, yeah, I muted FCAT and it stopped. Yeah, just fix your thing, FCAT.
Yeah.
He said, man, when I show up, Purple is bouncing. Damn, JD, you scaring away Purple? All right, so anyway, guys, let's get into this. So I asked all you guys a double question. But now let's get into it. Now, I asked you two sides. So one is, everybody agrees that financially or for business wise, it kind of makes sense for them, right? Some people feel they was forced to make this move, but either way, this is probably good for them. And then for the most part, a lot of people felt that, as far as console wars, this isn't a good look for them. But it is what it is, right? Where we're at now today. Man, first things first. Who has a PlayStation and is going to buy this? All right, so TPG, what about you?
I have a PlayStation, but I played this game years ago. I mean, what are they really going to do that's going to make it that much better? Just slap the Unreal Engine 5 treatment
Trophies.
to it? Trophies. Oh my god, you trophy whore.
Wait.
Damn right, baby.
But wait.
Oh, wait a second. Who just came in through a green tunnel at the bottom there?
Yeah, but look, Xbox created the trophies. You know what I mean? With their what are they calling Xbox?
Achievements.
Achievements, yeah. So I mean, what do you mean? I mean, if you played it on Xbox, you probably
But
already
I
got it.
want the trophies. I want
you
the
want the- okay, I
platinum.
got you.
So I'm gonna
Well,
go get the
I'm
platinum.
like Diggs. I have no care to buy this because I beat this game like a million years ago. So for me, I won't get it. But I think if you never played it, it's a must play. It's like a game in gaming that. And again, if they could get the resolution and the graphics looking decent, right? It don't have to be great, but if it could look decent, I think it is a must play. And if you was always a PlayStation person and never played it, you have to play it. You kind of have to. And
So-
it says it's only $39.99.
Mm-hmm.
So if you played the it was called Gears of War
Ultimate
Edition. Yeah, it's basically that. Just they up the textures to 4K. So basically, it looks nicer. It's still the same game, and they added crossplay. So
yeah.
if you have played it already, I probably wouldn't pick it up. At least me personally, I have it on Xbox, and I played it before. So
Right.
I mean, I've played every Gears of War game, and I'm still gonna buy this because, like, at the end of the day, it's Gears of War. It's one of my favorite IPs next to The Last of Us. So, yeah, for the record, Gears over Halo any day.
Maybe if it included the second and third game, or like if they had released remakes of the second and third game, but they're not doing that for me. So for me, it's not
Didn't
worth
you play
it.
the second and third games also?
I did. I've played
so
all the
you're
Gears.
like, if they, I don't want to play this because I played it already. But if they gave me the second and third, but I played those too.
Well, if they remade it like they did the first game, because the first game got remade with the Ultimate Edition,
Okay.
where they completely redid all the like assets.
Hey man, at the end of the day,
I'm from the trailer. It still didn't look amazing. It just looked kind of old still.
hey man, at
Yeah,
the end of the day,
it's
I'm still financially irresponsible.
At the end of the day, it's a 20-year-old game, and that's Microsoft's sales strategy right now. Is let's roll out the 20-year-old games for people to buy, and it'll probably work for them because there's enough sheeple to go out and purchase these things. As soon as they
So when Halo and Gears goes, my only question is it only the campaign? Does it include the multiplayer?
It includes multiplayer.
It includes multiplayer. That's why I asked crossplay.
Mm,
And that's split screen
yeah,
co-op
that's-
too.
I don't feel that people should be called the sheeple because if you never
then
played
you
it,
can't disable it.
then why not want to play Gears of War? Like, dude, Gears of War. I mean, I remember people would be like, "Oh, you playing God of War? We playing Gears of War." You'd be like, "Whoa!" Like Gears of War is a game. Now it is old, but I mean, PlayStation remastered, like, you know what I'm saying? It was like, so it ain't nothing
Man,
like
PlayStation over here fucking remastering fucking 5-year-old games. I could deal with a 10+-year-old one.
The thing is, the earlier leaks or whatever with the insiders and the janitors, they claim that one of them, I think Halo, might not have the multiplayer.
that would be really
That
weird. I can't see
really
Halo not
wouldn't
having
make sense in the
multiplayer.
case of Halo.
Like Halo, so Halo is that game,
Nah.
right? Where you play the one player mode, and then after you beat it, you and your friends just rocking out to the the multiplayer. Like I can't. Why would they not?
No, I mean Halo multiplayer has so much replayability. It's ridiculous.
Dude, there's still people who play Combat Evolved online. It's crazy.
And that's the golden ticket for Halo. That's the thing for Halo. Like that's.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, Halo still had a cool story too, but you couldn't help but play with your friends because the Halo got some cool weapons too. If you think about the needler and the
Plasma rifle, or energy. It's just called the energy sword.
No, I think it got a name to it, doesn't it? Don't they call it something?
I'm not.
It's just energy sword.
Okay.
Yeah. But no, like if Gears is coming, Halo's coming, and if Halo's coming, yeah, TPG buying that too. What can I say? I got no self-control when it comes to those two.
It's not. Nah, listen, you're a gamer, and if you didn't play those.
Hey,
games,
I'm a sheep though. Meh.
I just think.
I just spray shit out everywhere. Don't take any of it to heart.
Oh, I know. I'm just joking.
No,
So
I
this,
do think though, at the end of the day, it's your interest. If you're like, man, I've always heard about Halo, but I was never really a Xbox guy, and now I get to play it. Me personally, I'm just glad that I have every system besides the newest Xbox. So I pretty much played and was able to play anything I wanted to on both. And so if I just never played that meant I didn't have interest. There's only one game
oh,
on Xbox that I never played that I did want to play, which was Rise Son of Rome. It's the only game I did never play that I actually wanted to play. So other than that, none of this affects. I don't really care.
I have to say, it's surprising how many people want to buy these old games. Like just look at Oblivion Remastered that came out, and I don't know if anyone else saw the sales charts, but the guy who manages the U.S. sales says it's already number 3 behind Assassin's Creed and Monster Hunter Wilds for Oblivion Remastered. Like that's crazy to me. It's already sold more in the U.S. than
game
Lit
it is.
Fiction. It's
I think
sold
it's
more
'cause
than Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
Oblivion Remastered, the reason why it's selling so well, this is my theory, is because people have had to wait longer for that remaster, and Oblivion's kind of garnered a reputation amongst the Elder Scrolls fans now as better than Skyrim. So now people kind of want to test the waters to see, like, is this really better? Or is this just, something that's like, we're saying it's better because we don't like Skyrim now.
And not for nothing, it had a big following anyway, right? So
Yeah.
that game was a massive game back in the day.
My
PS3
theory is
port
there's
was
something in
garbage.
the water making people accept 20-year-old games as full priced, like viable things. Yeah.
This voltage.
Yeah.
I think I'm with
Something else
Rudick
came up.
today, but also TPG. You were talking about you think Assassin's Creed should be a cheaper game. You realize he just said that's the number 2 top selling game.
Yeah, in the U.S. at least.
Oh, didn't know.
People are creatures of habit. I mean, they just buy the next Assassin's Creed when it comes out because they don't want to deal with the noise of everything else around them in the gaming world. And getting Assassin's Creed is the basic, it's the default way to play gaming if you're going to play a third world open adventure game.
I've always looked at Assassin's Creed as like comfort food.
I think the default open world third player adventure game is called Grand Theft Auto, if we're being serious.
That's a different genre, I think.
So this next thing, it's kind of relatable.
Wait. Before you go to the next thing, I just want to say something.
It's actually related. It's actually related to this.
Did you hear what Maker of Chaos said was the number 1 selling game? I just want to know if you heard him say that.
What is that?
No, I'm asking Rudigs. Did
he say Grand Theft Auto?
No, that's not what he said. Maker of Chaos, can you tell him again what was the number 1?
It's a game Cowboy's been playing off stream and on stream. Gonna give you a hint.
Yeah. Can you guess, Rudigs?
What's the number 1 game? Did you say Monster Hunter? You said behind Monster Hunter.
Ding.
Yeah.
Get him an award.
You didn't want to play with me.
I'm not a Monster Hunter. I don't.
All right, guys, let me bring Ryan on real quick. All right, now we got split sides. So we got on one side we got Rain, Maker Chaos, and Ryan. On the other side, we got FCAT, TPG, and Rudigs. Guys, you're about to square off.
Related to
Select
this.
your character.
The next thing is actually related to this, guy, because
let's check it out.
this is gonna enhance
right back.
the Xbox's strategy and what they're trying to do. This might also help get PlayStation games on an Xbox. But let's see. So Tim Sweeney, after the so Epic and Apple, Epic won the lawsuit. Fortnite is coming back to the iPhones. Mm-hmm. They're gonna be able to, sell microtransactions and stuff. They basically won. So this opens the door for Xbox to do the mobile store that they were trying to do. This also opens them doing the buy the games thing on the Xbox app.
But I don't know why you would even need this on consoles when you could still
It's,
buy the game.
so what this is saying is Tim Sweeney wants the Epic Game Store on console. So so in this, he's basically saying both Xbox and Sony would not give him any kind of grief whatsoever if he wanted to put Epic on a console. So he's basically saying even PlayStation is willing to put something PC on a console.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, my thing is when you say Epic games, are you talking about like all the games made by Epic, like Fortnite and Dauntless and all that stuff?
Yeah, and all the free games you get all the time, and
You mean them games that's already on PlayStation and Xbox?
you know all the free games we get that you miss out on, Cowboy.
You mean them games?
I think it'd be cool to put the Epic Store on there.
Well, this is crazy. Like, PlayStation is actually open to having PC on their ecosystem.
Allegedly.
He's saying Sony's cool with it.
But did Sony say that?
He's saying Sony's cool
That's
with
why
it.
it got to be allegedly. But,
Okay, so
listen,
what's
I
going
think
on?
if any way to get more games, right? I think we're bending the knee for Xbox, right? That's cool now, right? So I mean, at the end of the day, if you could get more games, and if it because you have to get, I don't see why it has to be the Epic Store on like if Fortnite's on PlayStation without the Epic Store, I don't think that these 20-year-old games that they give out for free needs the Epic Store to on there. So I don't, FK, if you could explain it, that would be great. But I don't see the point. But let me shout out some people in the chat. Amin is in the building. He said, I got a question. What is the best way to get into gaming in 2025? Which console or is PC the way? Guys, let's answer this question for the gentleman. Let me go. Let me hold on. I'll go in order. Matter of fact, I'll do it this way. Ryan, I'll start with you since you just popped in. I'll go to you. I'll go backwards. I'll go to you first. Maker, collector. Pop over on the other side from the bottom and up. So go ahead, Ryan. And so what's the best way to get into gaming in 2025? Console or PC?
Well, if you can afford a PC, I'd say PC because PC's obviously there's PlayStation games that aren't going over there day one, but PlayStation or PC does have the best deal on Xbox Game Pass. It's cheaper, and you get all the games that are on there. And also, you've got the emulators, you've got the PlayStation games that are on. If you can't afford a PC, then, I think I'd still go PlayStation. Just because I do like the games that are not on Xbox. The Horizons, the God of Wars, all that. And plus, I mean, obviously Xbox is pretty much bringing over anything that's PlayStation 5 anyway. So, if you like older games, and backwards compatibility, then Xbox Series X is, that's actually what I use my Xbox Series X for, is to get the FPS boost on the last, like Fallout 4 and stuff like that.
So give me, because now I feel like now I'm confused. So give me an answer, because you just said pretty much everything.
Well, because everything's got caveats, right?
Yeah,
if you can afford it.
Well, hold on, Ryan. He asked a question.
Yeah.
You answered a question, or you want to say pass? Like the man said. He said, "What is the best way to get into gaming in 2025? Which console or is PC the way?" So he wants either PC. Go ahead.
Yeah, if you can afford a PC, go PC. If you can't, go PlayStation 5.
All right, there you go. That's simple. I love that answer because it was getting a little confusing. I get it. So let's go to Maker Chaos. Mario hat got a
Maker, it's your turn.
I mean, I could come back to you. All right. So Rain, the collector, my We Wrestle Wednesday brother.
I think it depends on what type of gamer you are, because, like, in my opinion, most of the exclusives on PC are set towards a certain audience of
Okay.
people who like that game, and most console players have their own set of like style games they like, and that's their exclusive. Also, it depends on what type of gamer you are, and it depends on your price range because PCs are, in my opinion, way more expensive to get a good one, and and it's it's way more expensive than like a PlayStation or Xbox. So it depends on type of gamer you are and your price range.
So if you had to give an opinion of what to get, okay, so it seems like you're leading into a console. What console would you get?
Honestly, I'd say get a PC if you can,
Okay.
because
Okay.
they got a lot more. They got a lot more games on PC that you can play.
Okay. Great. PC would be the answer. Okay. And
They
so
run
then,
better.
huh?
They
Oh,
look. They that
are you ready?
graphics.
Okay. Let me go to Rude Diggs. So Rude Diggs, what's your thoughts?
If you're trying to get into console or you're trying to get into gaming in 2025, what do you do? Well, what you want to do is get a console because PC is not the way. PC is the way of complication. Gaming on a console is push to play. It's easy. If you want the best graphics, that's going to be coming out of the PlayStation 5. If you want the best controller experience, that's going to be coming out of the PlayStation 5. If you want the best entertainment that is easy to digest and not these weird little mini games that they got going on Steam, you should definitely hit PlayStation. Listen, Sony is a media company, and if you want entertaining, big booms, explosions, that's the place to go. The other people are more like software companies and more like community mini games. So PlayStation 5 on top for entertainment, media, and experience.
Man, that was a very well said answer, and this is why anytime Captain Canada comes on the show, I and the audience is truly blessed. So thank you very much for that well digestible answer that we all could just take that and run with it.
I
TP. Oh, you're back?
Like I got it working. Yeah. Yeah. For this question, okay, this is a nuanced question. I think it depends on what type of gamer you are. Because I've had some amazing gaming, like multiplayer gaming experiences on PC, especially with mods and stuff like that. I think if you're more of a family gamer, Nintendo is your bag. If you're looking to save money on like if you play a lot of games a year and want a nice subscription, I think Xbox is where you can go for that. And then I think if you're looking for the best entertainment, as like Rudigs was kind of saying, the if you love like cinema, I think PlayStation is the place to go for that. So like it
See, but
depends
I
on
said
what you
that
want.
same kind of stuff. I said that same kind of stuff, and that's
Hold
not what they
on.
want
Hey,
you.
Ryan, hold your horses, Ryan. Let me handle this, bro. I got this. So Rude, sorry, your answer wasn't as
Mhm.
elegant as Rude Diggs. I'm sorry, I mixed
Yeah.
you up.
If it were me picking, I'd say PC. PC is
All
my
right,
platform.
thank you. I appreciate it. I just wanted to get some type of definitive answer because it's maybe Amin is trying to look and he's coming to us for some answers. So TPG, can you bless this man with your answer? PlayStation. I mean, with the answer you're gonna come up with.
I mean, sorry, I'm distracted by Fortnite for a second, just checking the item shop.
I just did that actually.
Yeah, good,
Cool.
good shit in the item shop. But my answer is, first off, yeah, again, it's all good. I think everyone's kind of saying it. It depends on price, like how much you're willing to spend, and like how much are you really willing to go into gaming. If you're looking for just a casual experience, I would recommend PlayStation 5. If you're looking for something that's going to be more of a investment in the long term, PC gaming. But you're going to pay more. That's the thing. No matter what, you're paying up the butt. The console gaming ain't cheap anymore either. So, and by the way, I never recommend a PS5 Pro. That shit's a ripoff. Just go buy a PC at that point then, if it's really that appealing to you. So,
Okay,
PlayStation, PC.
that's
At
your
some place
answer.
you get. At some place you have both.
Okay, so
I totally agree with what he just said.
what's your answer?
I said I totally agree with what he just said.
No. I know because I totally understand. But what's your definitive answer, TPG?
I mean, I'm gonna say PlayStation. I think that's
Right.
the best place to play.
Okay.
Are you trying to bait me into that answer?
PlayStation, best place to play.
Hey,
Play.
as you see, Master Chief in the background of Fortnite.
Right. No, let me go to FCAT. I'm curious to hear what FCAT's going to say, if he's even going to answer the question. FCAT,
What?
how would you answer this question, man? What is the best way to get into gaming in 2025? Which console or is PC the way?
Both. Real TV.
What is it?
Both. Real TV.
Shield TV? No,
And
so if
there's a
he's
console and a
not
PC.
familiar with a Shield TV, could you explain that to him?
It's made by NVIDIA. It's under 200 right now. You can get the tube or the little itty bitty mini console looking thing.
But how does he play it? Can you explain that? Like, is it a console? Is it a
Got
PC?
native. It's got native GeForce Now on it. Put Boosteroid on it.
And what is that? If he doesn't know what Boosteroid or GeForce Now is, could you explain what that is?
Cloud gaming. Cloud gaming.
Okay, cool. All right.
But what if they don't have good internet?
No, I just feel like because everybody was kind of like we see what Rudiggs did. He went to
You resort to your PC.
right? So I'm just saying, if somebody asks a question, which is like, oh, do Shield TV, they're like, okay, cool, what's that? You're like, oh, you don't know what it is? Like, mother effer, I asked you to tell me. But anyway, all right.
Yeah, I hear Boosteroid. I'm like, is there a cream for that? What is that?
You need an FBI to help you.
Boosteroid.
All right, so let me just drop my mine and we'll move on. Me personally, I'm gonna say everything Rudig said. Now, the question was, what is the best way to get into gaming in 2025? Which console or is PC the way? I will give Xbox credit because of Game Pass, right? And I guess if you're just getting into gaming, maybe you don't know what is your type of games. So I would love to say what Rudig said and suggest a PlayStation, because I think the PlayStation is going to give you the type of games that you're probably going to salivate over. You're going to be like, whoa, this is the big cinematic explosions. But I'm actually going to have to say Xbox. I would say you get into Xbox because if you're just, again, the question was, what's the best way to get into gaming? If you're just getting into gaming, you're kind of like a Purple Haze when she got in the Stadia. She didn't care what the hell she was playing. She just was like, hey, just give me a game. And so it was a lot of people like that just didn't care because they was new to gaming or they didn't play gaming like 20 years. So they had no prior, like, I need this type of game. So personally, Xbox would be it. You get yourself a Series S or X, right? And you're going to save money. Damn, the price just went up. Wait a minute. Let me rethink that. Oh, man.
Yeah,
Okay, now that's a little bit harder. I just realized that the price is going up. Well, I mean, still, I think if you get an Xbox, damn, that's a hard sell now. But if you get an Xbox and you get Game Pass for you just getting into gaming, I think that'd be a way to go. I think what Rudiggs did leave out, he didn't leave it out, but I want to elaborate. I wouldn't recommend a PC because if you get a PC, you have to be a tinker. I don't care when people try to downplay it and be like, oh no, you just leave it on auto settings. You could do that, but then what's the point, right? I feel like once you get a PC, you should learn and know and study your PC. And PC, if you're just getting into gaming, you're gonna be head underwater. Like, it's gonna be too much for you to understand and to get into, and you're gonna spend most of your time trying to understand and figure out your PC and not playing games. I say get an Xbox, get Game Pass, and you'll be in there. You'll eventually figure out what type of gamer you are because you'll be able to have all these games to your disposal, figure out what type of gamer you are, and then you can upgrade to a PlayStation. All right. I hope that answered his questions.
I have a
go ahead, Ryan. I knew you was dying to get in there, Ryan. Go ahead. What are you going to say?
When I started on PC, there's plenty of games you go in preset and you just, you don't have to mess with options or anything. You can just hit, play. Like, it has auto tracking for your graphics card, and it'll do recommended settings. I mean, so for everybody who's like, oh, you can't really just hit push play and do a PC. Yeah, you can. If you can't, you're not doing PC right. Because you don't.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. So you could. I know it is said that you could do that, but would you do that? Like, wouldn't you want to be able to, see what you could get, the bang for your buck? Wouldn't you want to turn down shadows and make less leads and?
I think it depends. Cause a lot of times I'll leave on recommended settings, depending on how it performs.
No, but I think what's not fair, Maker, is you've been in the PC game for so long. You saying, I think it depends. The new person, right? Like, you're saying it because you know what you know, right? So that's not a fair answer.
Well, I want to say gaming on PC nowadays is like so much easier than it is like 10 years ago. So
that's what we're trying to get at.
I'll say the exception is like AMD. AMD is, you have to be up to date on drivers, and there's issues with the graphics on that end. For NVIDIA has their own app that will tell you when there's a new driver update for you to install. Okay. There's also a section for games where you can actually optimize your games for your graphics card. It'll automatically change the settings for you for the optimal settings. That's really nice, as well as in terms of mods as well. There's now mod managers. Like, I use a mod manager for certain games that I play, and my friend can send me a code, and I click add mod. I click the game, and then I click add mods by code, and I just put in the code that they gave me, and it just downloads all the mods I need.
I mean, that still sounds like a lot. It still sounds like you got to know even how to do that.
No, it's like someone sending me a friend code.
I would vote that you definitely want to get a PS5. Go with the slim. Go with no disk drive. Because if you get a PC and not a PS5 on GTA6 release date, you're just going to be sitting there kicking yourself because you could have had a PS5 and playing it on day one.
Could have had the better platform.
I kind of agree. I kind of agree with Cowboy in terms of.
We ain't got to that point yet.
If you are just now getting into gaming, I do think Xbox with Game Pass is probably the best introduction, because you already have like a wide variety of games to your disposal. New games too, like Clair Obscur just came out on Game Pass. Like that's a big one.
Yeah, I think
Doom coming up.
Let me do this real quick, guys.
Bye.
I don't want to leave these people hanging. Let me go to the chat real quick. So JD said, and I might skip over some stuff, but JD said, but people want to pirate old games though. JD said, but Rue, people want to pirate 20-year-old games as well. Ryan said, my signal was weak. Blood said, what's up, Cowboy? What's going on, Blood? How you doing? And he said, what's up to the chat? Not sure what Meryl was saying, but what's going on? WWE Rhea Ripley, women champions. Well, we're right now dealing with some gaming stuff right now, but thank you for being a wrestling fan. GTA6 gameplay story mode 2026. ISO said PC is the way. And then JD said not with the high price Xbox at the moment. Let me see. Ahmed said, but ISO UK, I have to import a lot of stuff from the US, and US market on PC is better with cheaper and more availability. I can go laptop route. Obi said PC just take mad time to get games. I agree. Yo, what's up, Lens? How's it going? Thanks for lurking. JD said, what are those lot more games on PC y'all speak of? Rain said, I got a drop. Yeah, definitely check you out later, Rain. That's not emulator or pirated. Rudigs is full of, wow. Okay, came at Rudigs. Let me see. Tell him Ru. Ahmed said, at ISO Motion, why is he full of it? You guys are getting good, getting into it right now. Hold up, let me just try to get real quick, skim through some stuff. My name, let me see. My name said FCat said, you're a Samsung freak. What? All right, I'm not gonna be able to read everything because if I'm gonna skip over some of the nonsense. Yo, Chosen is in the building. Chosen, I thought you were supposed to be showing up a couple months ago, man. To We Wrestle Wednesdays. Just buy yourself a PlayStation. Is cheaper, more convenient, and no tinkering. Useless, or unless you're the guy that doesn't mind spending top dollar to have the best of the best. I see that. Why you do Purple like that? What you mean? Purple could have joined, but although Purple didn't want to smoke. Purple didn't want to smoke. She was finding a way to get out of it. She got lucky today. Rudix, when you say PS5, which one? Hold up. We gotta. Now, Rudix, you might have wrote him back, but I didn't see that. So he said, when you say PS5, which one? The Pro, normal? Actually, I guess that's when you were saying to get the digital. So you actually answered him. I'm just very late.
Yep.
But if you want to elaborate, feel free.
Yeah, what I was saying was a couple things. Just go for PS5 Slim, get no disk drive. Digital is so much more convenient than getting the physical copies. And like I said, GTA 6 day one, you're going to have that on the PS5, in addition to the controllers, which is much more of a gaming experience. And like I was saying, whether you want to go with subscription or buying games, listen, I always prefer to buy the game than subscribe to a service. I don't like going into a library and being overwhelmed with all these books. If you buy a game, you're going to be motivated to finish it. And it's just a better feeling close to finish when you do that for a game personally. So that's my recommendation.
No, I definitely agree with that. And I can't think Blood was saying, but we won't be able to play Spider-Man, God of War, Last of Us, Intergalactic Wolverine etc. No, I agree. And my point was, if you got an Xbox, and because it says if you were just getting into gaming, you probably didn't have a care to play God of War and all of that stuff because you didn't know where you was going. So Xbox would allow you to just have. But I think Rudix is right though. If you had Game Pass, you would have so many different options. Usually, when you have too many options, you just like, I don't even know. But at the end of the day, you'll be able to pick and choose. Because I think also, what if you just got a PlayStation, you just bought one game, then how you know which game to buy, I guess, right? I don't know.
Elden Ring, Returnal. These are the games you need to be getting. Last of Us, God of War, Horizon.
Just got into gaming, you would recommend Elden Ring? They'll probably stop
Oh,
playing
yeah.
gaming.
Yeah, no, Elden Ring is a trial by fire. Love it.
No, but you've been gaming for ever, right?
Then
you built yourself to where you are. I don't even want to play gaming Elden Ring. I've been playing forever. Why would a brand new gamer you would honestly recommend Elden Ring? That would not.
because I love it. Now, what I would actually recommend is probably like a Horizon, right? Horizon is gaming at its like you get that open world experience, you get that Zelda aspect, you get that hunting big dinosaurs, huge explosions, elemental uses. So I would 100% recommend that to any new gamer. Horizon, either Zero Dawn or Forbidden West. Listen, I like Zero Dawn better than Forbidden West. And with the remaster, looks amazing.
Yeah, my wife and I played and beat Zero Dawn, and when we got Forbidden West, we got halfway through it, and we was just like, it's kind of boring to us, so we never went back to it. We definitely will beat it at some point, but we just was like, man, we didn't care to play more. Maybe it was going to get better, but yeah, I feel like when you, with no spoilers, when you beat the end of part one, you're like, whoa. And once that's revealed, part two is like, all right, well, maybe they do it better, but I don't know how they top the end of part one, if that makes sense. Rujix, I'm not being fair. I got you on here and other guys in the back. So let me pull you out of here and bring in somebody who actually decided to show their face. And I don't even know why. I said, wait, pause that for a minute. Dodge Man with the $5 super chat. Appreciate it, Dodge Man. He says, PC ain't needed. Are y'all heard? PC ain't needed. That's coming from the Dodge Man. Definitely check out his channel. And congratulations, Dodge Man. He got a baby coming any minute now. His wife is in the hospital and the baby should be coming today. So definitely give a shout out to Dodge Man. But this person needs no introduction, but I will bring them on because they are a staple of the community, somebody I look up to, I respect very well, but also I don't have a problem chin checking the hell out of this person, love them, respect them, or not, because they are the fall of gaming, because they back up Nintendo and their high prices, which just trickled its way down to Xbox, and now we got two staples in gaming with $80 games just waiting for PlayStation to do the same. And this person is part of the problem. So I'll bring in none other than Purple Haze.
What's going?
What's
First,
up, Purple?
congratulations, Dodge fan. I just want to say that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right. So, Cow. So, what is this? What are we doing? What are we doing?
So this is hard, Purple. Yeah, I want to talk about this whole, Nintendo and the prices raising, but Purple, Gears of War going to PlayStation, like that's kind of where we are. We're kind of like, and then somebody asked a really good question in chat, but yeah, the energy I had for you and your nonsense. Gears of War just got announced going to PlayStation. That's the number 2 staple of Xbox. I mean, that game sold Xboxes. Like, that game was a game of a generation. That game was, I mean, it's Gears of War. Now, it's about 25 years late, but it's Gears of War nonetheless. And I mean, once you say Gears is going, it's over. So we're kind of was talking about that right now. Kind of, sort of. We're kind of getting out of it. But so let me ask you the same 2 questions I asked everybody else. One, just fathom with me, not logic, right? Because I always say the definition of console warrior to me is someone who lacks logic. They just kind of like make up their own stuff, say this is cool because I like it, right? So just fathom with me for a little bit, right? Just go down this yellow brick road, the storytelling of in the world of console wars, right? Xbox putting Gears of War on PlayStation. What does that look like to you?
I think the console war is over. Like, I continue to say this. I feel like, there's these stories of in after World War II, like years, even decades later, like these islands, and you have these Japanese soldiers who are still like fighting for the emperor, and people are like, "Yo, it's over! Like it is over, over," and they just never believed it. And I feel the same way with console warriors. I think Microsoft put in the towel a while ago. Like you'll remember after ABK, I said I think the Microsoft Xbox as we know it's over, and everybody's like, no, it's not. They're gonna do this and blah blah blah. I was like, no, when you make a deal like that, you're trying to make a different strategic shift, and everybody was like, blah blah blah. But yeah, it's been over. I think there would have been people, at Microsoft after the Red Ring of Death who said this is over. You know, everything they've done, I think, has always been in a movement. Like Phil Spencer was trying his best. Like a lot, like Phil's gonna get blamed a lot for this, but when you work in a company and you're trying to fight the good fight, but at the end of the day, powers to be if they have different plans, eventually you're gonna have to bend to those plans, or you're gonna have to leave. So
let me do this real quick, Purple. Rudiggs is gonna go. Let me pull him on at the
oh
same
yeah,
time.
just got dinner.
Rudiggs, you get to get on here with the Purple Haze. I know you just said in the chat you want to go, so I want to pull you up here to say thank you so much for coming on. Love your takes, man. I appreciate it. Besides you trying to tell a brand new gamer to play Elden, that's a shame that you would do that to them. But yeah, thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Hey, Purple, hope you're doing well. All the best. You still not beat Zelda yet, or what's that? What's that at?
Is that that's you only get one a stream, Rudiggs, one a stream.
I know. No, I'll take another jab in June. That's my one for May.
No, like I said, I was gonna try to do it before, but then the people in line at GameStop when I was gonna get they said no, wait till June 5th. So I'm gonna wait till June 5th.
Hey, it's gonna look really cool with 60 FPS, I'm sure.
Well, I'm gonna see if I can tell the difference. So I will play it a little briefly beforehand, but I don't know. We'll see. So I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Well, I'll hold you to it. At least, what are we saying? You're gonna beat it before Christmas this year?
I'll beat it before July.
No, don't do that. Don't do that because then you're gonna have me. You're gonna have me back and harping you. I'm giving you time.
No, but here's the reason why. It's because July. I've cleared out my gaming. Like I'm beating South of Midnight soon. I know Cowboy said yes, it takes me like 2 months to beat these games, and then I got Midnight Walk coming this weekend. That's gonna probably take me up till June, And then I'm not a Doom fan. Y'all never have heard me talk about Doom like that.
Me neither.
I'm not there's another big one coming out in the summer. Like I'm not that. So it's like that's my game. Like I'm not gonna play it on stream, but that's my game off stream.
Well,
wait,
enjoy
what
it.
game are you
It's
talking about?
awesome. I'm getting in trouble though. I gotta head off.
All
All
right.
the best. Take
Later,
care.
Hannah.
Okay.
Purple, what game are we talking about?
Which one?
Whoops. Sorry, that you and Rudigs are talking about.
Oh, he's
What
talking
game?
about Tears of the Kingdom. Zelda Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, you already started though, so you don't got to start over from fresh, right?
I probably do though, because like that one has different. Like if it was Breath of the Wild, no, but Tears of the Kingdom has like a different game mechanic, and I don't know the story as well, so I may have to. I'll
Okay.
We'll see.
Well, listen, thanks for having you on. Now, as far as business, take me through. I couldn't wait to ask you this question. So, the two-part question. One is for console wars. How does this look? You feel the console war was been over. I will say this. If anybody didn't feel the console war was over, yesterday news of Gears of War going to Xbox solidifies it's over. Again, without logic, not making sense of anything, but just saying, well, this brand is better because it's over. That is the case to bend the knee. You have something like Gears of War go to your competitor, you have bent the knee. Now, let me ask you the second part of the question is what's your thoughts business-wise, though? As a business, you putting Gears of War on your main competitor, which is PlayStation. Is that good or not? Please elaborate. I can't wait to hear your breakdown of this.
Yeah, I think it's really positive. Like I'm gonna probably make a video on this eventually, but
Okay. Well, don't give everything away then, because I
okay,
got a lot
yeah.
of
No, I
videos.
think it's just, or it'll be a take on my show or something. But yeah, no, it's really well. Like I'll say it like this, and I don't want people to take this the wrong way, but it's truly the way you have to look at it, which is every
Wait,
sale.
Purple, before you say that, do you want me to play Chucky? Do they need Chucky?
Nah, they don't need to.
All right.
They already know this. They already know this. They already know this. They already know this. At the end of the day, Microsoft wants PlayStation gamers more than they want Xbox gamers.
Okay.
And the simple reason for that is PlayStation gamers are worth more. And I mean that just strictly from a sense of what they're willing to spend in a year on gaming versus Xbox in general. Don't get me wrong. You got those Xbox people who buy like everything under the sun. It's just there's not that many of them. And then when you count like the cost of everything else you're providing them with the console and the services on the console, like Microsoft's flipping the bill for that. And they don't have to do that with PlayStation. So when you talk about charging, what is it? They'll get 70% of the sale on PlayStation because they're a publisher too.
Well, let me ask you this. I just seen somebody say on Twitter is Twitter. But somebody said again, you might know this better than me. Somebody said on Twitter they actually was doing 85/15 on PlayStation. So I was like,
I mean, maybe with the bigger publishers, like if you're a bigger publisher, I know the deals I've done, like right. So y'all know I've worked with certain companies. It's all like I've never seen that. I've seen stuff in the mobile app stores where they may play with like 2080, but even then you're doing hell a lot of business. So like Microsoft potentially, if you're saying PlayStation's taking 15 and Microsoft's taking 85, nah, I wouldn't. The issue with it is like when you think about it from the business side of it, the seller Microsoft wants those gamers, right? PlayStation has the leverage. It's not the other way around. Like if there's certain games like 2K, like Grand Theft Auto 6, they have the leverage, right? Because they understand how much money that game generates. But when it's the flip side of it, they're like, nah, PlayStation has it because PlayStation is the marketplace. So it's just a little different.
But do you feel that, so for them it's good business, right? To put their games all over, to put something like Gears of War, that's an older game, on this competitor's platform, right? Make some money off a game that was long gone, probably not
Yeah,
make the money.
100%. I mean, if they can sell, like, I don't know how much it costs to port it, right? Like, and how much it costs to remaster it, but they've done the math, and what they're looking at is putting this collection or whatever it is on PlayStation. You're just drumming up potential new buyers for it's basically marketing for that one that's about to come out.
Mhm.
So that's like, yeah, it's smart business. Now, I think their overall business is kind of screwed, but
Well, let me ask you this. I had a conspiracy theory in my video. Do you think in anywhere in the world that would happen? Anywhere in the world that Xbox will put the games on everything, and then maybe in 2, 3, 4 years, a new Xbox come out, and then all the games are exclusive, and make
no,
everybody say
no,
we need an
no,
Xbox?
it's no, because
Okay.
they're not. Xbox doesn't sell, like, comparatively speaking, like,
Well,
Xbox is not.
because the problem is everybody always said Xbox has no games. So that was a legit thing. I mean, I wrote that myself, because you would look at the games and be like, okay, Xbox got, some good multiplayer games, right? You get, you Halo, you play with your friends, whatever. But on PlayStation, it was like, damn, man, they got those hits, like everybody saying cinematic. You look and be like in a movie theater, right? Like, oh, that's a fun popcorn movie. And then PlayStation would be, damn, they got those Academy Award. Now, again, that's just the consensus that always
Yeah,
went
no,
around.
I think there's some truth to it, but I think the bigger thing that people miss, it, this is just me, like, following this company for a while.
Okay.
Xbox Xbox has FOMO for gaming. And what I mean by that is, anytime there was a trend in gaming,
Mhm.
Xbox tried to copy that trend. They try to do something. They try to beat someone to the punch. They're like, yo, that worked in the past. We're going to do that. We're going to double down on that strategy now. Sony didn't do that. Nintendo didn't do that. From Software didn't do that. ABK didn't do that. Right? Like, I'm naming some of the most profitable companies of our day right now. Right? And that was to the detriment of Xbox, because what Xbox ended up doing was it was a self-fulfilling prophecy, because it's like, yeah, you don't have an identity. There's no reason to get you. Like, they did at one time, but
Right.
that's the first generation. So, like, TK9 will be like, yeah, that was like the Xbox's identity, and he'll quote something from 2007. And it's
Right.
like, that's so early in their generation. You know what I mean? Like, they moved away from that.
So that's why Gears of War was a big deal for me.
Yeah,
Because that was-
exactly. Like, they should
know
have
what I'm saying?
stuck. If they wanted to, they should have stuck to third-person shooters dominating that industry. Right? They should have stuck to first-person dominating that. But to the same point, though, there's another thing is Xbox overly catered to the Western market, because both of those games are Western market games. So, like, when you think about Xbox, is like, whether it's 50-50 with PlayStation in the United States or 60-40 PlayStation, it's close. Everywhere else is nowhere even close. And to me, that is like the other thing that was like just a strategic error, like a fatal error, in my opinion.
No, I do agree. Well, let me bring the next person on. And this is somebody, cool guy. Some people might call him the casual gamer, but he's definitely somebody that I think. Yep, I think we need to get on here. Purple, you know who it is. But let's get on none other than Mr. Dad Gaming himself. ISO Motion Gaming is in the building. What's up? No, this is a time where he's feeding the kid, and I did this whole big thing, and he's probably in the other room with the baby monitor on. He's like, "Oh snap! I missed my turn." So while we wait for ISO to come back, Cubini did.
Wait, is it working now? Yeah, there you go. There you go. My bad. My
Okay,
bad.
all right. ISO, I did this whole. Did you hear me? hype you up and everything,
Yeah,
man?
yeah, I did. No, I was here. Sorry, it's just I don't know why. Sometimes my computer likes to default to my VR headset for whatever reason,
Gotcha.
and I was selecting it on the audio input for this, but it wasn't. I don't know. It just wasn't registering, so it kept showing the one, and then finally it clicked and it worked. So I was like, okay, that's good.
Okay, well, can we do this over?
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
All right. So, guys, coming in is none other than Mr. Dad Gaming himself, but he is none other than nobody to take anything away from because he plays everything. He has everything. He might call himself a PC gamer, but at the end of the day, at his core, he's the most casual gamer. At his finest is ISO Motion Gaming, aka VR.
Hey, yo, what's up, man?
What's up, ISO?
What's good? What's good?
Yo, first of all, how's being a dad, a new dad going, man?
It's good. He's sleeping.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, he's slow.
For
Well,
now.
shit. Nope. He just woke up. Yep, he just woke up. Literally, he just woke up. So I'm probably gonna bounce. He was sleeping. I have the little baby monitor right here, and I was like, "Oh, perfect time. I'll hop in, before I go to the gym." And yeah, he woke up like literally just now. He's moving. So guess I gotta go do dad stuff. So I'll be in chat listening. Sorry about that. I thought I'll be here for at least like 30 minutes,
just
45 minutes.
pop
So
on. All right, later, ISO.
all right, later, man.
All right, peace. All right, guys, that was ISO. Well, in the game of having a child, that's what happens. So let me go to the chat real quick, and I'll get back to you guys. Let me see. So Cubini said, agreed. Keep the console kids far away from PC. I think they console warned a little bit in the chat. Let me see. But Cubini said something I wanted to read. Let me see. Yeah, there it is. He said the console wars may be over, but every time one of Xbox IPs go to PlayStation, I'm gonna rub it in. Now, I think the issue is though, Cubini, you kind of can't rub it in. All you could say is Xbox making money, but all the PlayStation guy has to do is this, Cubini, and say you lost the war and you bent the knee. And you hand off your shiny new game like this. Take it from me, Saya. This is my tribute to you, Saya. And that's as far as console war. You know what I mean? But yeah, I agree. Listen, at the end of the day, a PlayStation guy is gonna be playing those games, and they're gonna be, Xbox gonna be making that money. So JD is in the building. JD, you're on here live with the Cowboy King of Entertainment, and I need you to talk to this man in the chat, Cubini, because he said the console wars may be over, but every time one of Xbox IPs got to PlayStation, I'ma rub it in. What do you have to say to that?
I want to say any Xbox fan should be ashamed of themselves for not buying the games on Xbox when PlayStation gamers are buying the games, keeping them in business, keeping your beloved IPs in business, keeping that third party publishing, whatever they're doing, going. If it wasn't for PlayStation fans, Xbox wouldn't be the number one third party brand. So I'm gonna need every Xbox player to bend the knee to the PlayStation and the PlayStation gamers, who I said at the beginning of this console generation, while they're talking about Game Pass, got it on my PC and my Xbox. Well, look where all your games going to. And look where it brought Xbox to in the hardware, as far as hardware and publishing games. They're giving it all out for free because they need to make money.
Wow. And my bad. That was Keelan. It wasn't Cubini. I'm sorry about that, Keelan. Sorry about that, Cubini. Man, that is wow. Yeah, let me bring TPG on here. He said he got something to say. I'm about to start bringing the people back on, but I want each person to get their own little spot. But before I do that, so 2 questions, right? So I've been asking everybody who joined. So one, as far as console wars, bro, you kind of said it. Them putting one of the staples of their games on PlayStation, which is Gears of War, is them bending the knee, correct?
Correct.
Now,
100.
The flip side, as far as financially and a business decision, like, Cubini saying, like, every time, a PlayStation player buys an Xbox game, Xbox will make money. What's your thoughts on that as far as a business decision?
I mean, as a business decision, that's what they've been reverted to. It shouldn't have came down to that. That's what we're talking about when we talk about console wars. It shouldn't have got.
We can't hear you right now. Blood said, "Another man's trash is another man's treasure." And
Can
he
you hear
said,
me right now?
"Yeah, there we go. Yep."
Yeah, it shouldn't have came down to Xbox making a business decision because people couldn't buy their games, and they have to make a business decision to put their games on every other platform just to stay in the game. That's something that they was forced to do, not something that they wanted to do.
I think Purple was kind of alluding to that. No, that's a
Yeah,
good point. Well, let me read what Dodgeman said. Dodgeman just said, "Cubini, PC isn't needed. LOL, console kids." He said, "Play games on PC. You're playing games regardless. No different other than extra dollars you're paying for the PC. That's not needed to play games." And then Cubini said, "Money is your only argument when both consoles are 700 plus." Okay. And then Dodgeman said, "Nope, I'm rocking the OG PS5 Series and Series X." Yeah, Dodgeman playing everything. And Maker said, "So be fair, you could say the same thing about PlayStation. Does that mean PlayStation came to PC to stay in the game?" Ooh, that's at you,
no,
JD.
yeah. So, Maker, that's not the exact same thing. Why PlayStation games are coming to PC? PlayStation games that are coming to PC are games that's already been out, that's already sold money, and they're coming to PC. When we talk about single player games, now when we talk about multiplayer games, it does make a business sense to have multiplayer wherever you're at, so you can have that install base. But we talk about a single player, the PlayStation exclusive experience, they already made the money on PlayStation. The Xbox wanted to get it there day one everywhere.
Yeah. Cubini said, "There's no proof Xbox was forced to go third party. Honestly."
Yeah, there was proof. I don't know if you follow the news or you fell asleep during the news. There was news that was coming out. Phil Spencer said there's no way that whole argument for them to get ABK. They were saying there's no way we can compete against PlayStation.
I mean, he did say that. Cubini said, "Well, maybe they just feel Xbox market is tapped." ISO told Dodgeman that doesn't make sense. His comment, he said, "I didn't pay $700 for both." So he was just saying, he didn't. Until Dawn Remastered was a single player that came day and date on PC. But it was a remaster, though, Maker. We got to be fair with that. It was a
That's what
remaster.
we're talking about.
Yeah,
It was
it
a
wasn't a day and date game came out day one. You know what I mean? But
yes.
he said both PlayStation and Xbox are finding more ways to make money because games honestly cost way too much to make. You know what's crazy? I think here's the thing. For Xbox, they're finding more ways to make more money, right? Hey, listen, we're just gonna put our games other places, we'll get the money. PlayStation already had a larger player base, but since PlayStation, I'll be honest, is having a low with games, they're kind of feeding their PlayStation players some Xbox games to make up for, because any game that comes to your service is for your community, right? Like for your ecosystem. So if you get third party games, regardless if it's from PlayStation or Xbox or Nintendo or PC or wherever, on that installment base, if you get games, it's for your player base to say, "Hey, I own this system, console, PC, or whatever, and now I have access to these games to play." So for PlayStation, it's kind of good that they're getting some extra games that are valued, because I know some PlayStation players are gonna buy that Gears of War. They're going to, and some people like me will be
Facts.
like, "I played that game 1,000 years ago, so I don't
I'm
care."
gonna I'm gonna buy it because I never played it on the 360 back
Sweet,
in the day. But Maker, for that comment, that's a cop out comment. I'm gonna tell you
sweet.
why that's a cop out comment. That's a cop out comment because we're talking about
Yeah.
in the
Hold up.
ways of
Wait
which.
a minute, JD.
Go
JD, hold
ahead.
on.
Go ahead.
Here's Maker of Chaos. He's in the back.
I can't hear you, Maker.
All right, there we go. I turned my mic on. Yeah, no, the reason why, let's say Nintendo hasn't came to PC. Do you want to know my take on that as why it's hasn't released its games on PC?
Yeah, go
It
ahead. I'll hear.
it's
I'll hear it.
so, and the reason why PlayStation and Xbox are doing it is because PlayStation and Xbox games are starting to cost more and more money. Like the numbers have already came out for Horizon being 300 million, and same with Spider-Man 2. I think it was reported Breath of the Wild for Switch only amounted to $80 million for that game, and I'm sure it's around the same for Mario Kart. The Nintendo's games don't cost near as much money as these others, so their return is a lot higher on Nintendo. So they don't need to put their games on PC to make up more money. PlayStation, I believe, are releasing games onto PC to continue that revenue because games are increasing in cost. I do think eventually we will see games day and date on PC. It's just going to take longer on PlayStation side than, let's say, Xbox.
Okay. But I'll say this. I agree. I agree that Nintendo, they find ways to make money. They don't overspend. As we could tell by looking at all the Pokemon games. They know how to like manage their finances. But I would disagree with you there when we talk about PlayStation coming to PC. PlayStation has always, because it's owned by Sony, has always was trying to figure out a way to expand their market for games. As we see, they're trying to get into the entertainment with the movies and the releases and the TV shows and the animation and all these things. The same thing that Nintendo is trying to do as well, to varying degrees of success. And we see that PlayStation has had success in the entertainment, bringing their IPs outside of the ecosystem. And so it's a different type of strategy, yes, to make money, but they already made the money on return of investment for that IP that they bring it over to PC. When we're talking single player games,
I think it depends. They still want to make as much money as possible, and I definitely think Sony has had some hits in the past. I'm not sure Marathon's going to do the numbers that they want it to. If Bungie's going to be that investment, worth the investment that they've made. Similarly, I'm wondering how, because Concord was obviously that probably cost them probably a couple hundred million for that whole scenario. I think they definitely need to recoup money, and they always want to increase that revenue. So I think if PlayStation didn't need the money from PC, they wouldn't be on PC. But the thing is, they
but those
need
were,
money on PC.
but to your point, those games before we even knew about Marathon and the Bungie stuff, right before PlayStation even brought Bungie in this generation, PlayStation had already came out to make the statement that we are going to expand into the
I mean,
PC market.
they did in 20. I think was it 2018. So yeah, that was about 7 years ago. Before
Yeah,
then, there was no PlayStation games on PC whatsoever.
right.
And the
But
fact
it's
that
not
they
in
did start releasing games on PC means they were looking for more avenues for revenue.
right.
Like as in
It
like
right. And like I
which
said, it's not in reaction to the failures of their recent failures and their shutting of different games, but it was before that.
but but they're obviously doing it for a reason. Nintendo's not having to do it. Sony is.
But I think he made a
Um,
good point. He said Nintendo games don't cost that much to make, so and then they
yeah.
make it so
So
much
they
money.
make more money back off from them
Yeah.
than like Sony
Right.
does.
Right. And PlayStation literally said, hey, we want to make some more money from our games that's already sold well.
Yeah, I
Let's
think.
put them on the PC.
But if they
Yeah, let me
didn't
jump in
need
real
that
quick.
extra money, they wouldn't release it on there.
Hold on, here's the thing. Let me jump there real quick. at the end of the day, you call it greed, you call it whatever. But if it's like Xbox, right? If Xbox are going to, okay, let's say we are console war and we look at Xbox like, oh, you're stupid for putting Gears of War because it's your staple, it's one of your staple games. It's kind of like, dude, the game's old, and since we're already doing it, why not make money? Because people are going to buy it, right? So we always look at these companies like it's just one person make all the decisions. I'm sure they have a team that does research, right? They're going to do the research to say, oh, this game is going to sell. And now that we're putting games, what will be the next game? This, right? So I think same for PlayStation or same for Xbox will be PlayStation. Hey, why not put, if we already put some games on PC, you already made that jump. But I think PlayStation Point, I think their strategy is don't do it day and day because we want to make sure people kind of need us in order to get that game first. And then down the line, we'll put it on PC, and you can have some people double dipping that already bought it on here and going to buy it again, and you make more money. But let me do this, guys. Let me bring everybody back in so they don't kill me. But I do know TPG did say he wanted to say something. I know FCat's going to kill me because he got stuff he wants to bring up.
Yeah, a lot of stuff happened this week other than Days of War.
Cowboy's going to get the
So,
Joel treatment if he keeps this shit up.
Hey man, listen, you guys have some good conversations, and I want to like hone in on them. I told you, two people. You know, listen, let's hear what Maker and them got. Maker and JD had to say, but let's but TPG, you said you had something you wanted to say.
Well, you Purple was talking about like how Microsoft has lost their identity, and I was kind of like thinking in my head, like, where did they lose their identity? And I think I could actually pinpoint it where it was right around the Connect time. That's where Microsoft lost track of the plot, and then they kept losing track. Because ever since that Connect, I swear God, man, they have not recovered. They and really where I think the death blow is the Xbox One reveal. Ever since then, they've been done. Now they're just a glorified publisher that makes a console.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Xbox One is that it was
the death blow, but it took us a long time to see it.
Yeah.
And I'm also gonna say this right now.
Yeah, when that happened, they couldn't recover. That was the issue. You know.
Yeah, and the other thing is they de-incentivize their players from buying games. Because what do they introduce? They introduce a cheaper way to get games for that cost less. And there's kind of this theory in like sales. If you ever present a cheaper option, that's the only option people are going to want. So people stop buying games on Xbox because they had Game Pass. So
that's a good point. Geek to Sneak is in the building. What's going on, Geek to Sneak? I also said what's up to CMG. He came in here a little bit ago. All right, so FCat, take us on this journey, man. You know, I want to give you a little bit of the reins because you take the initiative to bring up slides and stuff you like to pull up. So where we going next?
This is my cane.
Yeah, this is basically Xbox raising their prices on everything. Also, $80 games.
So this is what made me wanted to call Purple Haze out. So I'm glad she's here. But I don't have the same animosity. But I honestly, Purple, I know I did watch your show. Obviously, I love your content. But what I disagree with you is, and I'm just saying this, but I feel that my two examples in my video like a month ago, I said if Nintendo is setting the precedence, and there's two times in gaming that I never forget. But one was we go back to the PlayStation 4 era, or a little bit before that, PlayStation 3, where it was free to play online. And people was bragging that their Xbox was better because they paid for online. And then Sony was like, you know what? Guess what? You guys paying for online. And guess what? You just had to eat it. It is what it is. And then, dare I say, PlayStation had $70 games. And Xbox was like, we don't have $70 games. Ha, ha, ha. And it was like PlayStation fans was bragging that our games are better. And that's why we don't care for paying $70 games. Like, okay, well, if you guys are glorifying $70 games, then guess what? We're going to charge $70 for games when we said we wasn't. And here we are with Nintendo. And I said this a month ago. Nintendo setting this $80 game thing, and I guarantee the rest of the world is going to be like, well, why not? Because if they're doing it, and dare I say they don't worth it, Maker just obviously said as well, they don't cost as much to make. That even means they really don't worth it. But at the end of the day, why wouldn't Xbox jump out there and be like, me too? Now, we can say a lot of reasons, we can say terrorists, we can say whatever, but I feel that, hey, listen, it's not that hard of a blow to raise your game prices to, I'm not just talking about the game prices, to $80 when Nintendo just did it. Like, if you're gonna pay 80 for Mario Kart World, I know you might say they're gonna play that for 80 years and they won't have to pay for DLC or whatever, but that's a base game, and gamers are well aware of base game. We know a base game, we know you pay more for the
All
deluxe and
right.
all that other stuff. But as far as a base game, $80 for a base game, why not? Why
So,
wouldn't Xbox do
so,
it?
so here's my thing. Here's my thing, and I think, like you said, we know what the base game is. And I don't think so. I think gamers, if I go back over the last 20 years, there has been an erosion of what it means to have a base game, right? There was a time where you talked about your fighters in WWE, or we could look at Mortal Kombat, 'cause that's the one I know about. If I go back 25 years ago and I play Mortal Kombat from 25 years ago, and there are characters in the game that are not there immediately when I start the game, how do you get them? You have to unlock the characters. Somewhere along the line, what we start to say is, instead of unlocking characters, which we'll still do, we're going to actually have you pay for certain characters. That's just in a fighting game. If I look at other types of games which said, like, hey, there's this unique armor set over here, right? So let's use Zelda. If I want a certain armor set in Zelda, virtually every armor set requires you to go do a quest, go find a mission, go do a side thing. If I look at an armor set in another game, and I'm going to use Elder Scrolls Oblivion, right? That game came out 20 years ago. There was a huge controversy at the time with that game because there was a armor set for the horse, and everybody's like, chart, don't do that ever again. There was going to be a thing for $2.99, right? And that was an entire thing there. Over the time, we have understood that a base game meant the base game was not only the entire complete game, but also was the game without any bugs. Over the last 25 years, I would argue that we've now said, no, actually, all those unique things in the game, that's not actually the base game. That's extra. Actually, if you bugs, that's a normal thing. You're going to have to download another content. Actually, the multiplayer thing that you could do for free, we're not going to continue to charge it. Oh, the early access that we're going to say is early, the actual release date, we're going to charge you extra for that. Over the time, we've continually have eroded what actually is a game. And we're now paying for things that are features. We're now paying for things that were in the game before that they're bringing back. EA, 2K do this. Call of Duty just did this with the sound thing. And that's my thing. Nintendo said, y'all are already, if you love the game, paying upwards of $130 for that game. So Nintendo said, what? Go ahead.
Sorry, I just want to jump in real quick because you was mentioning a bunch of stuff. Here's my only issue with what you're saying is everything you're saying. You call the horse, you call the extra 30 or extra $50 on WWE for you add Call of Duty. None of everything you're naming, you don't need any of that to beat the base story. The base story is a game, right? So you get a game and there's a story mode, there's a campaign, and then typically you will beat a game and then it's up to you if you want to go play multiplayer. But the base game is usually that campaign.
Okay, so let's talk about a base game. You now have games launching automatically saying, "Hey, the DLC is going to come out in a year."
That's correct.
Right? The DLC adds to the game. Now, I'm not going to say every DLC does this. I'm not going to say every add-on does this, but there's definitely DLC and add-on that you're like, yo, that's part of the game.
No,
right?
So here's the thing. No, I
didn't Zelda do that as well? Like
Zelda, which Zelda? The Breath of the Wild ones. Neither of those are the game does not change the ending of the game.
No.
Neither of those do I need to understand that.
This is my point.
What I'm saying is, it adds there's some features that they added within the DLC of Breath of the Wild, Like they added where it tracks your steps, where you've been.
Yeah,
And that's
but
like
I'm saying there's literally DLC that comes out that actually is part of the story and is actually like the base game ends on a cliffhanger and they're like, oh, here's a DLC.
Name the game.
That's been going on for over 10 years. Though.
No,
Yeah, what I said is over the last 25 years.
You guys
Diablo, Diablo,
Say it again.
Diablo.
So there was a DLC in Diablo that you needed to get in order to beat the game, the base game.
No, but it's the story. Like if you play Diablo,
No,
if you
purple. Okay, I just want to because I
no,
think
but that's my thing. What we're defining as beating the game is different. What we're defining as beating the game is different. Like if I say, let's use movies for example, because it's a lot easier. What is the story? And that's part of the difference. Like where does the story actually end versus what is actually just a chapter of the story versus like, what is a true sequel to a story? That's where it actually comes down to. Because I would argue, like an actual game, like so Maker brought up Zelda. Yes, if we do the 2 DLCs for Zelda, right? That does not change when Link fights Ganon and what happens at the end of the story. But when we look at the DLC for Diablo 4, that does change. Like theoretically, the story just ends with the chick and she's like, okay, I don't want to end the story.
But at the same time, you could say there's a lot of games like that. If I played the base World of Warcraft, it doesn't end just at World of Warcraft.
I 100% agree with you.
I would say it's
here's
more.
the thing. No, stop. See, this is what you guys are doing that's wrong. Do you or do you not need that DLC to beat the game? The answer is no. It's
most cases, no.
Listen, if you want to see more, right, that's on you. But you could literally no DLC stops you from like. There's no DLC that you're like, hey, I just sold you this game for let's use $69.99, and you cannot make it to the ending unless you buy the DLC. No, DLC is called add-on. That gives you more things to do, more pieces of story, more content, more weapons, maybe a fatality, whatever. The thing is, that's what we got to distinguish. I need you guys to give me one game. Just think of one where the developer made the game unfinished and you had to buy the DLC. It might have been a PC game, but you had to buy the DLC to actually finish the game. Like, what is that?
That's my thing.
I got one.
Go ahead.
Telltale's The Walking Dead. If you do not have if you only play the first episode and you don't buy the rest of the episodes, technically you don't finish the game.
Yeah, but that game that is more like the show, right? So it's like watching the season. So you buy the first season.
I know that's like the only thing I come up with because you are right, but that's literally grasping at the worst straw possible.
There's a lot of games like you could say Halo 1 isn't the full game because there's Halo 2 and Halo 3.
Yeah, that's kind of weird ass logic I was using.
That's more what TPG is saying. But
you have to separate. Like it's a live service game. It's an episodic game. Okay, those live service games, they're meant to not end. Mm-hmm. So you're going to continue to pay because they're going to continue to crank out more story and more content to keep people paying for the service or playing the game.
But to be fair though, it's like watching. I'm glad TPG brought up the Telltales, right? To be fair, right? When let's say you play Telltale games, it's telling that season. It's like watching The Walking Dead the first season. It's up to you to decide to go into season 2. You might be like, yo, I don't like this anymore because Rick is gone and I'm not going to watch it. So if you play Destiny, you could do the Red War. And when you beat it, that did end, right? That did end. So now you know they're going to come out with new ones, but if you paid for it, you did play that. The DLC or the add-on, that's to get you new and more content. Yes, it's going to continue the stories because you got similar characters that's still in it, but you don't need that to say I beat the Red War ended. That was over. Now, if you want to do the next thing for Spoken, then you would pay or Forsaken, then you would pay for that. You guys are coming up with stuff that's not true. Like what you guys are saying isn't.
I'll just grasp it. I'll grasp it.
Getting sued right now.
What they're saying is not. That's not what's happening in gaming. And I just want to.
That's a bad analogy because.
Go ahead.
I was saying that's a bad analogy because the Red War is getting sued right now.
Oh man, you always coming up with some nonsense. Anyway,
So can we talk about Grand Theft Auto 6 yet and how this thing's gonna melt every console?
Hey, unless you have a pro, unless you have the pro.
Yeah, you can't jump the gun.
I think it's gonna be like 40 on pro.
Yeah, that
40
definitely got to be like the anchor. But so Xbox raising their prices for me personally, at least the game sales, I feel like I can't say I was in a boardroom and they said Nintendo did it, I'm gonna do it, but I feel like they could justify it because Nintendo did it. That's all I'm saying. And so I blame people like Purple Haze that was justifying it.
All right. Well, like I totally disagree with it. Like I said, I think you've already been showing you're willing to pay an exuberant amount for essentially the same game with a different
content.
But I like I said, if we want to go on, like I said, that's why I see what you're trying to do there. You're trying to back out of this one.
No, that's real. All you gotta do is give me listen.
I will say it's more common now than it was back then.
Can I say something here real quick? I got no problem paying $80 for a game I'm interested, but Purple, it shouldn't be standard across the industry. That's when it becomes a problem.
It's not
the standard yet. It will become the standard because you know how these corporations think.
Then okay, like this is where I said you're like it's Mario Kart.
You're Nintendo. Kicked open that damn
you guys
floodgate.
gotta take turns. Say let all right,
sorry.
No, so they have launched across. There are several Nintendo titles that are launched, or Nintendo's launching Mario Kart at 80, Donkey Kong at 70, right? Most likely they're also going to launch, depending on what the game is, 60. They've already said they're going to have dynamic pricing, right? What I continue to say is with y'all are like, well, it's going to be 80 across the industry. Then get upset with that game company. What did Black Myth Wukong could have easily charged $70, like for the quality of that game, what we got, but they charged 60. That was a selling point for the game, right? I continue to say, like, if y'all are saying, well, Nintendo did it, so they're making, no, I don't believe that. Like, Microsoft was going to raise the price anyway. That's my whole thing. You're telling me like Nintendo, then that was your initial comment there.
Why was Nintendo the first one to do it, not Microsoft?
Because I think y'all are looking at it from an angle of like that initial price point. But when you look at it from the other side of it, when you're selling games, you don't look at what you look at is what are they willing to pay? And what you've seen is gamers are already
Yeah, my issue with Purple, I think you're throwing a lot out there. One, who the hell says besides you that Black Myth Wukong is worth $80? I don't think it's worth $80.
That game's worth 40 tops.
Like
you made the horse noise. Please stop talking. Wait, no, Cowboy. Like I said, 70. If you rewind, I said Black Myth Wukong was 60. It could have charged 70. All right, I didn't say South of Midnight was. Or I didn't say that. Right. So like
I agree. Black Myth Wukong could have been 80.
I said Black Myth Wukong could have been 70.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Like,
hey, I agree with Purple on some of the stuff. Like, I agree with Purple on some of the stuff. We've been doing dynamic pricing. People act like they got amnesia. I don't know if you guys are just new to gaming in the past 10 years, but we've been had dynamic pricing on gaming since the Super Nintendo. Since SNES.
Since Doom,
you know what I'm saying?
Freeware existed on PC.
We definitely didn't have it, but here's the thing. What I'm saying is, if the top game was $69.99, trust me, the next person to push it to $79.99 is gonna be scrutinized. We all gotta agree with that, right? So Nintendo was what TPG was pretty much saying. So at the end of the day, yes, was it like that in the past? I used to work at video game stores. I remember when Nintendo 64 came out, you had some stuff that was 69, you had some stuff that was 79. I remember that. We still have games that's $39.99. We still have games that's $29.99. But what I'm saying is the company that pushes the bar to and not DLC, Purple, that's where you're trying to get out. You're trying to.
No, I'm not. But you're not letting me finish the whole thing. You're saying like the biggest point I would say is we've gotten to the point in gaming that you are paying for literally the same game with the skin over year over. Not well, you do on some things that you like. It's literally the same game, like 2K, right? Let's look at 2K. 2K is literally an update to change that game. That is not a full-on new game. But we've already, what the gaming industry has said is like, if they really like this game, which is semi-live service, semi-ongoing, like a 2K, like a Madden,
Right.
like, yeah, those are like, they're not quite live service, but they're kind of like, you can continue to play through it, right? When they look at that and they're saying they're willing to pay for that 70, 70, 70, 70, 70. There was a time where you were getting better graphics. There was a time where we were like, Madden is competing against NFL Blitz. There's a thing where they were changing out the players, what you could do in it. But then there was a point where they stopped actually changing anything and they started taking away features. Then they started introducing features that they took away and saying that this is a new game. And so what the gaming industry said is, you're willing to pay 20 million of you, depending on if it's a Madden, it's a 2K, whatever it is, 20 million of you are willing to pay year over year over year over a game that is very little lift to actually create. It is literally a new paint job. And so what Nintendo said is like, okay, we give you the same game. We don't change it. You play our game. Our players play that game just as many hours as those players play those games. And they're paying 70, 70, 70, 70, 70, 70. We're charging, at the time it was 60. This is, so if you want to make a criticism on what, go ahead, FCAT.
No, I was saying right.
Right. So now you're saying like Nintendo's like, okay, we're only monetizing the game one time, where these other companies are monetizing the same game over and over and over. And that's where I think the difference is. I don't get hung up on that initial price for what is essentially the same game. Other people, they see that thing and they're like, oh, well, I'm getting the better deal. And then next year, the same game comes out. Literally the same game will come out. Same team, same everything, except you have a different roster of players. You didn't change arena. You didn't change announcers. You didn't change anything. But people are like, okay, we're going to pay 70 again. That's where the game industry said, like, you're already paying it.
So I will say,
my thing, the way I look at it, Purple, I think gamer FOMO is a joke for the market. And gamer FOMO is the reason why prices keep going up. Because even though gamers are complaining on Twitter, drop the price on Nintendo and whatnot, they're still going to buy it. And they are buying it. The same people. You know what I'm saying? And it's all FOMO. It's all FOMO. It's fear of missing out. And it's one hell of a drug.
To all of you guys' point,
is the same thing with Nintendo, right? It's the same thing. So it's saying that people are complaining, but people are still gonna buy it. So I can't say for Madden and sports games, but I buy WWE games. So the WWE games,
They know
right?
They can price it whatever, Cowboy, where you're still gonna want to buy it because of FOMO. Like they know that you're still gonna want to buy it.
But this is what
people buy it.
This
People
is what
buy
I'm
it
saying.
because they enjoy the game. There are more people investing in that singular game. That's why Fortnite. That's why GTA. That's why these games are so large. Is because people have the specific games that they love, and they will put a ton of money into them.
Yeah.
Right, but if there's still FOMO behind it.
I don't think FOMO is the main reason though.
Yeah, well,
No,
FOMO is definitely not for Fortnite. Because people, so here's the thing. When you think of, let's say, subscription service, right? A lot of times you pay for it just because you know you're going to get games in advance, right? You don't know what they are, right? Something like Fortnite and these live service games, they're free, right? So when you see something, you specifically spend your money on what you want, right? So I think what Maker's saying, that's what he's saying. Like, for instance, Fortnite is free, right? A couple weeks ago, a month ago, I spent $60 in one day for 3 characters. But I specifically looked and said, I want that character, I want that character. I don't want them, I want them, right? That's not fear of missing out. That's making a actual decision of what you want, So that's different. Go ahead, JD.
Nah, basically, I thought all gamers were broke. because ain't no way they keep making this money year after year after year, but people keep complaining about the prices of these games. And Nintendo's been selling y'all the same games for years. How many times they remade Link's Awakening? Game Boy, Game Boy Color, the next Game Boy, the DS, the Wii U, selling you the subscription online. Nintendo is the king of selling games over and over again.
Yeah,
The same game.
It's so
Wait,
ironic
no.
that
So
it's so
remember,
ironic
here's
that
the
people
thing.
jump down that Sony's throat for reselling The Last of Us. How many times have they resold you guys Mario 64 or Ocarina of Time, and you fuckers sat there and bought it and ate it like it was
Hold
going
up, wait.
outside?
They
Wait,
said
hold
you're not
on. Like,
allowed to say Nintendo. You're not supposed to say
no.
Nintendo.
For
If,
one,
if they made a remake
let's you just
Rules for
for the
thee,
same
but
thing.
not for me, kind of attitude.
No,
Hold on,
let's
hold on.
just
Let Purple respond.
for one. Where was Ocarina of Time sold again? On
NSO.
3DS probably.
3DS.
3DS,
Thank you.
3DS XL, 3DS XL. They're about to sell it again on the now that they got the GameCube or the Switch too.
It's just that's a game that's
No,
part of
no.
their retro gaming library on the Nintendo
But they're about
Switch
to,
Online.
Yeah,
but you
it's
still
only a
gotta buy
Nintendo
it.
Switch.
Don't you have to buy NSO to play it?
You can say the same about like
You can
PS3 games
you don't
on like
like
PS4. You had to
you're
rebuy
buying
them.
that's a weak argument. I'm just gonna say that right there.
Yeah, it is.
On the other one where you're literally saying like you literally said Game Boy Color, Game Boy. That's if you wanted to play that one in color, you would play that one in color. But y'all are saying like
But they did it more than once. It was Link Awaken. It was Link's Awakening on Game Boy, Link's Awakening Color, Awakening DX, Link Awakening on DS. Then they went and remastered Link's Awakening for the Switch.
okay, I
They
really want
sold
you. I really want
Link's
you to. Okay, I
Awakening a
really
couple
want
of
you.
times.
I want you to really figure out. Like, I really want you to figure out if you wanted to play Nintendo DS, right? And you wanted to play Game Boy Color and the original Game Boy, right? And maybe I should use Game Boy Advance, not Nintendo DS, but I could probably use Nintendo DS. You had to buy the same. You couldn't switch the game. You couldn't put the same cartridge in.
Yeah, the original GameCube.
No, but you're buying,
or not game.
but you're buying the remaster. It's another remake. It's another. It's to the point. It's another.
No, hold on real quick. To help out real quick. It's the same way The Last of Us came out on PlayStation 3. They made a remaster for the PlayStation 5. And then they made a remaster.
Oh, they did one for
PlayStation
4, then
and then they made a
5.
remaster for PlayStation 5. It's the same thing you're saying, Purple. They made a remaster because
I'm not saying anything about like remaster when you port a game to a new system, right? When you port it, it's literally like you're remaking the system, the game. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna say you have to almost say it's a remaster by law because it's not the same game. That's like y'all are like using like this thing about like, oh, it's a remaster. Like that's not what I'm talking about. What I am talking about literally is like a sports game, a shooting game where they use the same maps in the same thing. That's what I'm talking about.
I agree with you. I was saying I agree with you on the point that they're selling you the same game as far as ports and remasters. I agree with you on that point, Purple. And when you're talking about as far as Call of Duty, the Maddens, the 2K, where it's literally the same game, semi-live service game, and they keep removing features, putting features back, all of that stuff. I'm telling you, they did that stuff since PlayStation 1, since Xbox One.
Yeah,
they've been doing it since.
Yeah, that's just porting a new game. But like to me, it's like
I'm talking about like Live 96, Live 97, NBA Live.
Yes, you can say Live,
yeah.
you can say. But even then, if I went back to the difference between Live 96 to Live 97, there was actually differences in the game. Like they added things, right? If we go back to that time, if I went back to Street Fighter, they're adding things. There's a point to where the technology in the game did not change. The game mechanic didn't change. Technology didn't change. The maps didn't change. That's where I'm like, I'm okay with you, the advancements in technology, right? That's why I was saying, like, if you're going to say something like was the same on 64 as it is on the GameCube, it's like, no, because they actually didn't give you the same exact thing. It is a more advanced level. But these other ones today, and that's why I said over the last 20 years, I didn't say today. I said the last 25 years, we've lost what that actually means.
Purple, can I say something? Because I think so. I'll just speak for, because I don't play the sports games, but I speak for WWE. So the last year's game and this year's game, they have some differences, but the biggest difference is the roster, right? So when you watch wrestling because you're a fan of a character and different wrestlers. So some wrestlers come back to wrestling and they came too late, so they wasn't able to be put in the game. So next year you're crossing your fingers hoping they're going to get put in the game, and then they get put in the game. So that is a difference, right? Now we could get into the subtle changes, or they added stuff. I won't go into details because you guys won't know what the hell I'm talking about.
And
Like
what I want to
paybacks, but
know,
at the end of the day, it isn't the exact game. So I think it's easy to look outside when you don't play the game, say it's the exact game, because on the surface, you feel like, man, I'm playing the same game. But there are things that make the game different. Right now, is a game still a wrestling game? Yes. But they may change. They might add a new paybacks. They'll add new wrestlers. They're gonna add things that will make this game definitely the last game, but it is similar to the last game, just like
yeah. I'm not saying, like, obviously if you find value in the game, right? That's what Maker was saying. Like, if you have value, find value, you're going to pay for that value, right? When they look at what gamers are playing, like buying, spending, that's what they're ultimately looking at. And when they see, like, there are games that people are literally spending over $130. There are games people are spending over $1,000 that are called free to play games, yet people still spend that much money on it.
Right.
And so that is the signal. That's like the willingness to spend. Now I get it. You're saying like, oh, it's the cost, or the upfront costs, but all of them have their own different pricing mechanisms. My thing is, gamers are already spending that money. It's just gamers who are not. Go ahead.
I want to say one thing. So I play with about 8 guys on Wednesday, and we've been doing this for almost 3 years.
Yeah, long time.
Everybody who play do not pay for what I pay for. Therefore, they can't use all the characters I can. For you to keep making it sound like we're all playing the same game.
You made your point. You said they're different characters. You said they're different characters. For you, every year, you spending $130 is worth different characters. Now, if we created now, let me give you an example. Okay. If we have Mortal Kombat 1 came out when? 2023? I think so.
Oh, Mortal Kombat. Yes, yeah. I was thought you were talking about
the new one.
Yeah, yes, because they named it Mortal Kombat 1.
Right. So it came out in 2023. There are add-ons right now where you can get different characters. But now let's say in 2024, they switched out the game, right? And then they added, you could buy the entire game again for $70.
Correct.
And you could get, but it switches out and adds on different characters. And then in 2025, they do the same thing, right? People would be like, no, that's not worth it. Because they're used to getting Mortal Kombat 1. And if they want the extra characters, they get the big one, or they just pay for the add-ons as they come out, or they get it on sale or whatever. And so, but to me, it's very identical, but because WWE does it a certain way, and you find it's interesting to you.
No, WWE, hold up real quick. I bought both games. WWE and Mortal Kombat, they literally do it the exact same way. It's you buy the base game and that's it. You could beat the story on Mortal Kombat. You could beat all the character story on Mortal Kombat. You could get WWE and you could beat the base story. You could do the story mode where you play you create a character, beat it, and that's the base game. You can't do nothing else. You could pay Mortal Kombat and get the season pass throughout the year. They're going to give you different characters, and those characters have their own ending. Same thing in WWE. You could pay for the season pass, which is $130, and throughout the year they're going to add different characters. They added one in May, and then which your pack is going to have like 7 people in May. Then 2 months later, you're going to have another 7 people. A couple months later, you have another 7 people. So by the end of the year, you're going to have a bunch more characters. Mortal Kombat, literally, it's the exact same thing. Exact same.
In Purple's defense, I do want to say that like pricing wise and like character, like, because the thing is, I think she's trying to say like the original Mortal Kombat's, you never had to pay for these DLCs for the characters.
Yeah, because
These,
back in the day, DLC wasn't a thing. Once they added DLC, wasn't a thing.
You
I
couldn't
mean,
do
it was, but
you
it wasn't
couldn't do
like it wasn't as
DLC to
monetized as
online.
it is now.
You could do DLC to online came about. Really.
Right.
Pay for what you want. It doesn't fucking matter, man.
Having DLC on Sega Genesis, like Maker, you're that's a bad take.
Well, I mean,
yeah, because like Mortal Kombat 3 on Super Nintendo, then they came out with Mortal Kombat 3 Ultimate. You had to buy literally two different games.
You had to buy the whole game over with the extra characters. I
Same
used
with
to get
like
mad
Super
Street
Street
Fighter.
Fighter.
My friends, they used to buy the Super Street Fighter and the Turbo. I used to be like, bro, Street Fighter, Capcom beating y'all in the head. Y'all keep buying the same game just to get two other characters. They're like, but we love it. I used to be like, damn, that's crazy. I used to always mess with my friends. But
That is true. I totally. Well, I was going to say they existed. I guess it just wasn't as often. Like there's so many DLCs now for each of these games that like it is way more than just buying it 3 times. Like I think that's what Purple's trying to say.
Yeah, that's all I'm just saying. You're spending more.
And my point is this: just hear me out. At the end of the day, those DLCs aren't mandatory. That's add-on. Again, like I said, we Wrestle Wednesday.
Yeah,
About
I
8
totally get
people
what you're
play every
saying.
week, and everybody don't pay for the DLC.
I don't think she's arguing that though.
That's
I think
I'm
she's
not arguing like
hold up. Let me make this point because you're being disingenuous. Her point was that when I said Nintendo's doing $80 games, her point was some people are paying $130 for games. So my point was like, but those are add-ons. Those people do not have to pay for that. So that's disingenuous to act like that wasn't a thing.
But those are two different. But my point is, you're coming at it like at the end of the day, if I spend money, like that's the thing. How much is a gamer willing to spend for the game that they want to play? That's the thing. When you've already shown that you're willing to spend, in your case, 100.
That wasn't the argument. That wasn't the argument. So if
that was my point. My point all along was you were
on the same page.
No, yeah. My argument the entire time was gamers are already spending that. That is a willingness to spend argument. Gamers are already willing to spend.
That's a bad argument.
I think the difference is.
Hold up, real quick, Maker. If I say, man, you just paid $80 for that game, and you be like, bro, you're already paying it because you paid $130 for WWE. I'm like, the base game was $70. You paid an extra $10. Yeah, but you paid $130. It's like that's not the same.
No,
thing.
I'm not talking. Like I'm literally talking at it. The argument that you said was from Nintendo and from Microsoft. Nintendo made Microsoft say it, right? So what did I give you? I gave you the business side of it. The business side of it says this: Cowboy was already willing to spend $130 for a game.
Correct.
Someone else was willing to spend $100.
DLC. No,
I don't care. You're willing to spend $100.
Being disingenuous. You're having a bad. That's a
nah,
bad.
bro.
Bad,
you are
nah. You done, Cowboy. She got you, bro.
Hold on. How does she got me?
Because you don't spend when you spend to play the way you want to play that game.
Correct. Listen, I choose to spend extra on DLC. You're trying to make it like Nintendo $80 game is the same as me paying $130. I'm choosing to pay. Now, if Nintendo was $70 and then I paid $130, I'd be like, it's the same thing because I paid extra. Nintendo is making you pay an extra $10 for the base game. That's my point. JD, it's not the same thing. If I choose, I might choose to pay $130 this year and next year I don't. But if Nintendo make you pay $80 each game, that's not the same thing. Please explain how it is the same thing.
There's two separate arguments.
That's the point.
Yeah. There's two separate arguments. Purple is just basically saying the reaction that gamers are having to Microsoft raising their prices in response to Nintendo. There was never truly a response. Like I said, the market has always been a dynamic market for how games are priced. We went over this.
More recently than previously.
Yes, more recently than previously. But people that's what she's saying. they're willing to spend the money. So we can charge it 80, 100, 150, whether it's a base game, whether it's the ultimate game, whether it's all the packs, whether
Oh
we
my god! I
split
just
it out,
realized
we
Ultimate
can do
Editions
it.
are going to cost $130. Fuck!
Facts.
Fuck!
Your argument, hold on.
Yeah,
Your
coming to
argument,
me like a
your
real expensive
argument,
cowboy.
your argument, Cowboy, is different. Your argument is basically saying, hey, I'm just buying. I'm a select gamer. I buy this game and I'm not getting jigged. You're not getting jigged because that's the game that you're buying into. So you're not losing money. That's a different argument than the pricing of the games that has been going on.
Yeah, well, because my thing is, if you're saying it's the same thing, I'm just saying it's not. That's all. If I'm DLC and the base game is different. That's my point. That's all I'm saying too. So that's what I'm saying. If you're-
Well, the thing is, we're still going to be paying even more now, because in my opinion, I do think that now more games are going to be coming out at $80. I think, yeah,
Now
that's
that's a fine. Like, I'm not gonna argue. Like, my whole thing, like, I think JD explained it correctly. Like, that was just my point, is that people are already spending it. The companies were just like, okay, if they can get away with charging it for their fans.
I just feel your wording is just bad. That's all. If you say people are already, if I say Nintendo games are $80, you say people are already spending it. I'm like, wait, when did somebody spend $80 for a game? You say, well, DLC. I'm like, that's DLC. So that's my point. Your wording is just not
Well,
good.
the whole,
If you say, hold on, wait. If you say, well, people are already spending more than that on DLC, then I'd be like, it's still DLC. That's a choice.
Okay, so let's just make clear. This wasn't just so the chat is understanding why this is confusing,
I need
right?
some coffee, man.
Yeah, and then I'll hop off and let y'all finish. But the video I made, right, was literally about the thing for the Xbox and the console. You came in and said Nintendo forced Xbox to stop making games. Something that, like, I was like, okay, so if we're talking from a business perspective, then when you come in, right, because I'm still on the business side of it, you come in and you're talking about the player, right? And you're saying, well, the players are already doing whatever. That's where we got off, because those aren't parallel arguments. If I was saying, that's why, that's all.
But to be fair, before Xbox raised their price, you and me was already talking about, you already made the statement that people was already paying it. Xbox just raised their prices like last week. You and me been talking about Nintendo and $80 games. So the Xbox thing is new. You and me Ben had this conversation about the $80 games before Xbox even did that.
And I think JD clarified why we are always talking on different things and why you keep forcing this argument that I'm not trying to argue
I
with.
just would like you to change your wording, because if somebody was just listening and came in the chat late,
wait, you serious? You want me to change my wording?
Oh, damn. So Purple said there was already $80 games. I don't know what people are mad about. Like, no, there was not $80 games.
I was saying I always have said people are already spending. People are already spending that. Now, you are the one who keeps going back and saying,
because I like to be specific. If you and me are making a debate or a conversation, like, I don't want to be like, listen, man, Starbucks got the best coffee. What do you mean? People are already drinking coffee.
That's hyperbole.
Yeah, but
that's
I said
not what
Starbucks has the best coffee. Like,
yeah,
I want you to be specific. If we're debating or having a conversation, be specific. You're being disingenuous by just saying people are already spending it. So the untrained ear, because I'm thinking you're trying to be like, well, I know you're trying to say people are spending more, but I feel like you.
So okay, if you know people are saying it, if you know what I'm trying to say, then what you're trying to do is
and you're trying to win an argument by being disingenuous. So people are in the chat like, I agree with Purple. You agree with Purple that, okay, so then I'm gonna say what Purple said. So you agree with Purple that people already are spending $80 on base games? Because that's what it sounded like she's saying to me. People are, I'm like, yo, Nintendo is gonna start making games be $80. People are already spending it. Oh, so people are already spending $80 on games, base games. That's what we're talking about? No, that's not what we're talking about. So if you specify it, then you got a better debate or argument. But if you just make a loose statement, well, you know, they're already spending it. That's, you know what I mean? That doesn't work.
Yeah.
I mean,
Zalek, thanks. Sorry, Zalek's in Australia. It's her morning. Zalek, sorry to get you up on this. This is not This is not a good conversation to wake up on.
I'm actually heading out. I'll catch you guys later, though.
Yeah,
Later,
I
man.
mean, all right. If that's
Take
what you
care.
want to
Take care.
layer maker, like
All right, later, man.
I guess I don't know, Cowboy.
No, I
If
mean
you want,
you're just being cheesy with your
no,
argument.
I'm
That's
not. I've literally said the same thing. People are already spending that. People are already willing to spend that.
now when you start to think about it, you're like, I mean,
No, I'm not. I'm trying to match you where you're at. Like that's
no,
all I'm
you're
trying
not
to do.
mentioning me where I'm at because I simply
She
said,
said she coming down to your level. She coming down to your level. That's the real you want to die.
and let her come down to my level. I would love it. So is anybody else spending $80 in base games?
Me?
I mean,
I'm spending 80 and
I buy the digital deluxe of every PlayStation game.
But
That's
that's not
because
the same thing.
it's my
TPP.
active
That's not the same
choice.
thing. That's not the same thing. Right.
I'm
That
spending
was
it.
my point.
I'm spending
That was
it.
just my
I'm
point.
keeping Xbox. I'm keeping Xbox alive by spending it. Yeah.
You doing what?
I'm keeping Xbox alive by spending that money.
Wow.
It'll be down to one person. It'll be you,
All
man.
right, listen, we just going on and on with this thing. Let's move on.
Yeah,
I know.
you dragged this.
Yeah,
You
we've been
dragged
dragging this
on
one
Gears of
on. We need to
War.
move
You
on.
dragged on
Zayla
the other
said
one.
exactly what I said about Diablo 4. Our Rouster said the exact same thing I said about Diablo 4. That's what I would say about the complete game. But I'll let y'all keep going. We're done. We're done.
Off a cliff.
So I had to cut this way down. So the last thing, I guess,
GTA.
yeah. Why is everybody
Game of the year,
judging?
2026.
Why is everybody judging frames per second from a cinematic?
Oh,
I was busy all day. I was stuck in the airport all last night, so I didn't really hear anybody talking about that.
No, just like with the first trailer, we're back to the is it gonna run 30 on this? Is it gonna run 60 on that?
hey, Cowboy,
We haven't seen gameplay, actual
gonna pull up the
gameplay of
trailer?
this game.
okay.
The
Let's watch
game
this
is
trailer.
not gonna look like this.
Let's watch this trailer and let's see if people are gonna still bitch about 60 FPS.
Well, I'm not gonna put the volume. on, though.
Yeah, because there's actually copyrighted music.
Yeah, that's when they're gonna get.
It's not going to look like that though. It's
Yeah,
not
so
gonna look
there
like
is
No, this
copyrighted
is
music on it.
actually what they say the game's gonna look like. This is finished.
Yeah, it's just,
Did y'all forget
That's
what
what they're
GTA
playing.
5? Did y'all forget what GTA 5 looked like before gameplay was revealed? It looked
Dude,
crisp.
come on.
It
Come-
looked-
Look at this. I don't care if this is 30 FPS. This looks like it's on fucking PlayStation 6 hardware.
I don't think this blows me away though. Me personally.
It's stuff you're not gonna notice. It's like the motion. That's really what's selling me.
The motion.
Okay, so like how there's like this cinematic quality to it instead of being,
Yeah, it's called a CG, full motion video.
Well, okay, well, technically everything on a video game is CG because it's a computer generated image.
No, CG.
So
I'm just saying.
I actually like this trailer than the last one.
Yes, it looks much better.
This shows more of the story, like what's going on. I can understand it, kind of thing, and feel alive.
Yeah, I really like the story. I'm guessing they're going to tell it this one, but you don't know where things are going to go.
Also, thanks you guys for popping in the chat, Rouster, and I don't know how to say the name.
Yeah, I remember everybody was saying this game's woke because she was fat.
Oh, because she had an attitude. Yeah, we know a certain person who came onto this chat a while ago, got upset because a chick had attitude.
So let me ask you this: who's getting GTA 6?
Oh, I am.
Yep, I am.
Which is so funny because I was on the fence about it, but once I saw this trailer and I started,
Oh,
I really like the
you
vibes of the story. I like how it's kind of gonna be like a bit of a romantic story.
I don't know, man. I just, I'm a big GTA hater, and I've played so many GTAs, and I just feel like gaming has evolved for me. You know what I mean? This is just the most basic game. I don't know. But
let's go into conspiracy theory. Let's go into conspiracy theory mode. Why was it delayed? What? Let's go down the line of your opinion of why it got delayed.
So they said they need to fix stuff, right, or work. So how did they word it?
optimize better or something.
So here's conspiracy. So somebody in my chat said something like, in 2026, PS5 Pro is supposed to have something with the PSSR, and a lot of games are going to be getting a boost or something. So they think maybe this is waiting to 2026 so they could get that boost.
I mean, that's a possibility.
Possibility because we know PlayStation got the marketing because it says captured on
Yeah, 'cause
PS5.
I don't
They
know.
show PlayStation on the trailer.
I mean, if you want my theory of why I think this game got delayed, well, first off, I do actually think optimization is a part of it, and maybe there's some eternal problems going on that we don't know about with this game, like basically bug stomping. Like you got to make sure the problems get fixed. You want it to in playable state.
I think the good thing is they never made a date anyway, so that's the cool thing, right? So
That's true.
No one had a date anyway. Let me go to the chat. Zell said, I hope GTA6 has new mechanics and new activities to make it more than just cars and guns and these.
Dude.
I agree.
I got a conspiracy theory for what you're going to be spending your money on in this game. And I'm just going to point out, it does seem like they're in multiple areas in this game. And they have like multiple hideouts. What if you're spending money on the base, like actually upgrading their house and stuff? That would be cool to me.
I thought you were going to do that before, right?
Yeah, you can buy buildings and stuff like that now.
Yeah, but I'll talk about like customization. I mean, like actually being able to customize it, like put a big screen TV in the living room.
What Aiden Ross was saying is you pretty much make a business out of it in GTA 5, where you flip buildings and you can turn your GTA money into actual money.
Well, okay, I doubt that will actually happen. Okay, but that's a good pipe dream.
That's what. Man, I don't know. Like with this, I'm away for PC, but like when I hear optimization, that means either the Series S fault, they could be optimizing for Switch 2.
I don't see this run on. I don't see this run on Switch 2.
The delay could be them putting, online mode into it for day one, things like that.
Here, I want to say something about this, right? So when people keep saying this game might be 100, I could see if they say, okay, the base game is $79.99, but then the online mode is that additional money, and so you could buy the game.
That's another reason why they delayed it.
What'd you say?
That's another reason why they delayed it, so that way it'll be 80.
I mean, that's a possibility too. I could definitely see them. We're waiting.
Now, let me ask you this: do you think there's going to be any more info on this game?
Technically, there's been a little bit more info dropped after they dropped this trailer. I posted in the private chat where they were talking about some of the characters in the game, which I was reading it. I was like, damn, that actually sounds interesting.
Yeah, he said they probably invested.
Like I said, they showed the PlayStation thingy in the trailer. They showed like a PlayStation controller and what it looks like to be a PlayStation 6.
Well, because we know if they're optimizing this for the PS5, there's more likely a chance that Sony has the marketing rights to this game. So what's going to happen is there probably will be a GTA 6 bundle with the PlayStation 5, and there probably will be some kind of special controller, kind of like what they did with The Last of Us, Helldivers and stuff like that. I mean, if they have the marketing rights.
Well, check this out. What TPG posted.
Meet the cast of GTA 6.
Craziest group of criminals and misfits. When I read that, it sounds like what was the other game that was like GTA but super crazy?
Saints Row.
Yeah, Saints Row. My wife loved that game. Jason Duval. I live in Jacksonville, and this county of Jacksonville is called Duval County. So yeah, that's pretty much you could read about all the people. It just gave me vibes of all the Grand Theft Auto. They got the prominent characters.
Exactly, and dude, that's why I'm so excited for it. Because, like, listen, man, there are two companies out there that we will all pay for, no matter what: the Rockstar and Naughty Dog. And some of us have that third, optional studio
Right.
we pay for no matter what. I mean, like, dude, I'm still playing Red Dead Redemption 2. It's like that's how good Rockstar is. When they make a game, they make it to last.
Well, that's if you
Unfortunately.
still keep playing it. I mean, that's you got to speak for yourself on that one.
Oh, dude, the Red Dead 2 story is
But
the best.
but
Period.
how are you still playing the story? What are you playing it over and over?
Damn right. I did a high honor run, and then I'm doing a low honor run.
Yeah, I don't know how many people are still doing that.
You'd be
Said, didn't
surprised.
they get sued by a random woman who claims the character model was based on her? I didn't hear that. Did that happen?
No. So I think what you might actually be alluding to there, sir, is actually that GTA 5 was going to get sued by Lindsay Lohan because they said they used her likeness for the poster girl, the blonde girl that has the cell phone that was doing a selfie in a bikini. She says that they used her likeness. And then some other guy, I think some guy named Joker, he's like the Florida Joker or something, says he will sue Rockstar because there was a character that looked eerily like his or like him. I was like, dude, everyone's going to try to sue this game because they know it's going to make money.
Well, Lindsay Lohan does not got a body like that.
Oh, hell no. But no, everyone tries to sue everyone when you're successful.
Yeah, damn, keep dropping my mic. Probably I'm broke it by now. But yeah, I mean, I think GTA, I think it's gonna be good as long as they nail the story, right? If they nail the story, then I think people are gonna really like it for what it is. And if they nail the online mode, so they got two things to really do.
Well, the online mode's kind of optional. Most people they're still playing GTA 5 online, and look how much of a trash fire that is. Fucking spawn in, you start a brand new profile, spawn in, and some asshole decides to blow you up with their flying car.
Well, that's what they was doing to me on Red Dead. When I bought Red Dead, I was new to it, and every time I jumped in, my friend Ray would just run up and attack me and tie me to his horse and set me on fire. I was like, "Yo, man, I can't."
Jesus Christ! What'd you do to piss him off?
Every time I jumped in, it was the same thing. I'm like, I don't even want to play this game.
But
let me ask you this: do you think the delay of this is gonna do good for Mind's Eye? Because I think it is.
I think Mind's Eye's got a lot to prove.
It does, but Mind's Eye, I mean, I don't know. To me it's more appealing to me than this. I think GTA is living off the name. People just hear GTA6 and be like, "Oh, whatever it does, I love it." And I'm like, "Well, you didn't play it." Just like, like in my eyes got a lot to prove because it's a new IP. But I feel like perfect what they said in the chat, right? Like, I wonder what the mechanics going to be like. Because GTA used to have kind of piss poor like controls too. You just kind of run up. The fighting was never great. Like it was always like, man, who's making these controls? Like, so I mean, I don't know, man. I'm a big hater when it comes to this game.
Cowboy, you're gonna buy it one day.
I mean, I might buy it just because everybody else is buying it. Like, I need you guys to let me know what the online is like. Like, because I would love, like, if the online feels like it's really all of us running around. Because when I played with my nephew a couple years ago, when we got on, it was like rough. Like, we couldn't just all get on at the same time. We had to like do some type of like thing. He was like, "Okay, I'm gonna join, and then you gonna join." I was like, "Wait, you don't have a way to just invite me? We can't just join together?" He was like, "No." So I don't know if they ever fixed that, but it was like really hard to play together. I was like, "What the hell is this?"
I'm playing this for the single player. Couldn't give two shits about the online.
Yeah, I'm gonna need the online to be something special.
And to me, Rockstar. Well, here's my thing about GTA 5. I am not the biggest fan of GTA 5's story, but I think Red Dead 2, made me a huge fan of theirs.
Yeah, I mean Red Dead 2, but not that I ever played it, but played the story of it. But I just know that they went.
Whoa! You did not play Red Dead 2?
Yeah, you know what's crazy? So here's the thing: if I feel Grand Theft Auto is the most basic game, then why the F do I want to be riding horses?
Aren't you the Cowboy King of Entertainment? And you missed out on the Cowboy game?
So remember when I was telling you I was getting set on fire? The whole Stadia community got on me. Bro, you're supposed to be the cowboy. How you don't got Red Dead? I was like, bro, I don't. My friend Matt that just got married over the weekend at a Star Wars wedding, he loved part 1, and it was game of the year, blah blah blah. So you know, he always told me how much he loved it. I'm like, dude, I don't want to be riding a horse and all that. So anyway, people got on me for the cowboy, so I said, fine, I'm gonna buy it. And I bought it, and I couldn't get to enjoy it because I was constantly getting set on fire and dragged down the street by a horse.
But that's the online. I'm talking about the story.
Dude, I don't like the setback. That's why I didn't go to the movie to see Sinners. I don't like when they, like, I love Young Guns. There's certain cowboy movies I loved when I was young. And as I got older, I'm like, I don't know.
Yo, can we lock this man up for fraud alert? Damn, man. You don't like Sinners? You don't like Red Dead Redemption? What? Next you gonna say you don't like the good, the bad, the ugly? How much of a cowboy are you really?
I mean, listen. I'm a wrestling fan, and I know a good gimmick when I see one. And you know.
He's trying to live the gimmick.
Hey, listen. I'm just saying.
There's some other trailers. I don't know if you want to pull out.
Yeah, we can do that.
That came out.
Wait,
the Code Violet trailer. Pull up the Code Violet.
Code Violet. Wow.
I'll get you next time, Gadget.
Did you see it, DVD?
No.
Yeah, I want to pull up this. I want to pull up this.
PlayStation Masterpiece. What is this? Cyborg?
Let me see. I love a random crossbow. That would be OP. In GTA 5, you go the same world, but you can easily get together around and drive in the other person.
Oh, this is mine.
This is fucking.
Look at that. I'm more excited for this.
I'm trying to tell you,
Well,
this is going to be like the.
For it because it's sci-fi.
Yes, thank you.
I'm trying to tell you, Cowboy, this is going to be like the day before version of GTA. This is going to be like the asset flip version of GTA.
I'm telling you right now, I am suspicious of this game. One, we have not seen actual gameplay. And probably the most suspicious thing, this reminds me, I'm picking up the same vibes, is of the day before. If you don't know what that game was, it was the biggest fucking scam to hit gamers in a long time.
That's what I'm saying.
Gameplay. Here's a 14-minute video of gameplay. What are you talking about?
How do we know this is the actual game, though?
Yeah, it got leaked. This got leaked. This looks dumb.
It looks like GTA. Yo, bro, I'm about to jump through this
exactly
computer screen.
Okay, yeah,
this looks all over again.
This looks good-ish. This looks good-ish.
It's made by somebody who used to one of the people who used to make GTA, right?
Yeah.
That's what they said.
I'll give this one a look. I mean, I'll basically wait for the reviews.
But so for me, I'm just looking like, look, it's like, you know, got some. It had the little robot-looking thing in the beginning. I guess my thing is, and I just feel like GTA is just basic, like nothing special about it. It's just regular person stealing cars, and that's it. And I feel like,
hey, but this time you can steal cars and make out of a hot Latino girl. I mean, come on, man. Damn, I know improvements, right?
My ex-wife and my kid's mom was Puerto Rican, and I don't want to live that. TPG. I think I had enough.
Cowboy's like, I don't need a game for that. I already lived that life without the murdering.
I'm not trying to go back. No, what other thing you want me to pull up? But yeah, this is
the Code Violet, the other asset flip.
Ultraviolet. All right.
Yeah, Code Violet.
I got something for you to pull up after you pull that one.
JD also said, look up Destiny something. Destiny
the Destiny thing. Yeah, I was gonna bring that up. Also, Borderlands 4. No, just do the gameplay one of HSH.
Do both of them. Because there's two different things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did watch both of them earlier.
No, this is the announcement. No, do the new one.
Okay.
Do the new gameplay.
Let me see.
Why you still have this up?
Just because I want to pop up something. Yeah, this was 3 months ago. Oh yeah, you want me to do the 5 day? No, that's extended, official extended. I ain't doing
No, the extended gameplay, but
man, that
the
thing
long
is
one.
yeah, that thing is 19 minutes long.
Yeah.
You said yeah.
Yeah,
I'll pop around in it. Look, they try to make their girl have a big butt too. Did you notice that?
yeah. Another blade. This game literally looks like ass.
Yeah, man. I sat through. I
Booties
made
is
it
in your
through
face.
Quantum Era, and
Yeah, you
yeah,
notice they had the weapon wheel from Quantum Error.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
the Quantum Era had some good stuff with it. It just was super
This,
unpolished. It felt buggy. It was like the alpha.
this is a skip. Like I would just wait for Quantum State. This is a skip. This ain't gonna do nothing. Ain't gonna go nowhere.
You got a link, Rouster. If you could get me the link, I'll post it in the chat.
There was also the Borderlands 4 trailer that came out. I don't know if you want
You
to
know what?
pull
I
that.
haven't seen that trailer yet.
Yeah, Borderlands 4.
Well, I'm gonna let you guys go. I'm gonna go make me some fucking dinner. I am hungry
Actually,
as
hold
hell.
up. I want to go to. I was supposed to go to the movies today, but since we
Yeah.
got caught up in the hotel, so let me see what time if there's a movie tonight. If so, I'm dipping off on y'all.
Sure. Which are you gonna go see? Thunderbolts?
Yeah, you know it.
I heard it's pretty good actually.
But I want to see it in 4DX. 4D. Oh damn.
Cowboy's like, I gotta see the most expensive version possible.
Dude, I just I like to see movies
Hey,
in
man.
4DX and see everything flying around and feel like my chair's moving, and I love it. I'm addicted to them. So they got one for $10.20. I'm gonna see if my wife want to see that. It's kind of late, but wait, what? JD, what? Trailer you want me to show?
He wanted to show the
Destiny
2 Edge of Fate thing.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, I'll let you guys go. I'm gonna go make some
All right,
dinner.
later, man. You want me to do
Peace.
the cinematic, the Edge of Fate cinematic trailer?
Do the Renegade trailer.
Okay, got it.
So from what I've seen, the Edge of Fate is actually free for everybody, but they do have the Ultimate Edition, which is $100, and all it does is give you cosmetic.
Yeah, send it on Discord, Rouse.
But
And this is what they should have did in the beginning for the Star Wars.
Yeah, I don't get this. Like they already did the Star Wars thing. Now they're gonna do more Star Wars. It's like this is ridiculous.
No, Star Wars is a popular franchise. What are you
I get it. I know
Because
that. But it doesn't belong in Destiny.
The Sparrow is like the bikes in
I was about
Star
to
Urs.
say, bro, if this don't belong in Destiny, I don't know what to say. The parallels
Right.
are what the hell? How did this get on?
The Star Wars started in a galaxy far, far away, not on Earth, taken over by a ball in the sky.
The regular gameplay trailer. Regular gameplay trailer for it. Yeah.
All right, guys, I'm gonna put in a link for how am I saying this right? Zelic 7? Is that how I say it? So
Yeah.
Yeah.
My thing is, how many people are working on this from Bungie, and how many people are working on Marathon or
okay,
doing
hold on,
Marathon?
real quick. If anybody's watching, guys, when you watch this back, if you're watching it now, Zelic 7 is streaming. That's the channel. Definitely go give it a follow if you can. I'll definitely check you out myself. I'll go follow right now. But I definitely, man, I love helping people out. And so I feel like if your heart's in it, you could just at least drop a follow. That would be cool. So there it is. And then you can see, maybe you might find your new streamer. your new favorite streamer out of it. You never know. So guys, oh yeah, you're more than welcome. Not a problem. It's all community over here. You might hear us sound like we arguing, about to go crazy, but that's just for the entertainment of it. But at the end of the day, we
Look at
all
that part.
try to be.
Look at that part right there. Look like Metroid. You can turn into a ball
Oh
and
yeah, the
roll
game
around
looks
the
like that.
environment.
And
It does look
Bungie's
that.
so good at making hype trailers. Like it's
Facts.
ridiculous.
Facts.
I don't know. Like
I'm excited for it
I feel
because it's gonna be like Metroidvania style. They said it's like the world you get to go back
really.
and replay it and solve puzzle. Yeah, they said like the more you level up and get gears, you'll be able to unlock more secrets in the
Big
world.
Brizzo. Oh wow.
That's cool, man. I'm happy that you you like it.
Yeah,
At the end
and
of the
then
day,
they
it's
took
all about
away. They
gamers finding a game they like. And I just want to say, like, I don't have a problem with $80 games. If somebody want to pay $80 games, I never tell somebody not to pay $80 games. My whole point was Purple said we're already spending that. So my point was just like, no, we're not spending. If we are spending it, it's for extra stuff. That's my point. But yeah, if you guys want to listen, I pay a lot of money for a lot of stuff, but that's because of what I want. You know what I mean?
My thing, I feel like this is the end. Like
No,
I know Final
I
Shape
don't
was
think that
supposed to
from
be
you
the
because
end.
I've literally heard you say that for about 5 other Destiny DLCs, bro. So I don't want to hear that from you. You literally every time you do it, bro, this is going to be end. Destiny's over, and then they go on again, and then you go, bro, this is the end. Destiny's over. I'm like, this guy.
nah,
Bungie wants
this
to
ain't gonna
move
end.
on. They're done with Destiny. They're done. They
No, they
want to
said
move
this. They
on.
said this is a whole saga for the 9. This is before the Light and Dark saga.
Definitely, Ralston.
Like, yeah, it's gonna be
Okay,
crazy.
what's after this? It's like
What's after? What's after
So
that?
look, and I
Video
got
game?
you make the 11-year mark with Destiny 2. You gonna go for 12? Like
so check it out, guys. I actually had some trailers that I wanted to go over myself that I actually put in the oh
the
damn.
so the Borderlands 4 they're saying looks like Destiny.
Wilson. Oh yeah, Borderlands 4. There you go. Let's pull that up.
Yeah, the Borderlands 4 they're saying looks like Destiny.
It
Because you get a
does.
ghost, you get a sparrow, there's public events and all kind of stuff.
Oh wow.
Yeah, facts. Yep, it does look like
Never
Destiny.
played
Borderlands 2 was dope. That's the only one I really played.
Yeah, seen it. So what is the Borderlands 4 gameplay trailer? Official gameplay
Yeah.
trailer 6 days ago.
Yep.
All right, let's do it. Guys, we're just kind of checking out some trailers. We had a good show today. And so we're just kind of like, checking out some stuff. I'm going to actually. What's up?
It looks like they're doing the right things with Borderlands 4. It looks like the ingredients is there. Borderlands 3, they put too many guns. It was too much. Like it wasn't like all the legendary guns. Like you could just find it and power up real quickly, but and all these different things. But looks like Borderlands 4 is coming together. Like legendaries are actually legendaries. They got the Sparrow, they got the Ghost, they got these different abilities like they've been having. It looks a little bit more tighter.
All right, so I got something I'm gonna throw in there. I was looking up some games the other day, kind of like anticipated games. Just some games that look kind of cool. Check out this one. And what else did we check out? I already showed mine. And Wolverine, won't worry about that. Oh yeah, my thing is getting all choppy now. I get a mic stand because all right, here we go. Check this out, guys. Oh damn, I just put the wrong one. Oh, let me copy. right, so this looks cool. If you're in the beat 'em ups. Oh, we need to watch The Last of Us, ain't it? Hello. All right, cool. It's only 9 o'clock. I kind of got a little bit of sleep. Yo, my thing is low. The microphone look like whenever I'm talking, it's just not up high. I wonder could I adjust it on this side? I got it all the way turned up there. Let me see something. You guys able to hear me?
Yeah.
So yeah, that little game looked kind of cool. Little beat 'em up looking game. Hello. Yeah, it's not going up.
Yeah.
I broke it. All right. Anyway, guys, I think I'm gonna call it there. Unless you guys got anything else you want to pull up. I think it was cool. We got to talk about GTA. We getting delayed. We got to talk about Xbox raising their prices. We got to talk about Gears of War going to PlayStation, which is still crazy. So I think we hit all of those main things, and that was like mainly what we wanted to get to. I still got to watch The Last of Us since I was away for the weekend, so I'll check that out. Make sure you guys get a chance to go to the channel. I'll pull it up and go check out some of my the new stuff I put up. If you haven't already, I've been doing something new where I just kind of like doing one takes of some videos or topics where I just pretty much sit in a chair, talk about the topic, and then keep it moving. So, and if you're a channel member, I got a bunch of videos that's just sitting here for the channel members that I put up going on 2 weeks. And I'll put them out slowly for everybody else. Got my popular videos right there. Here go a bunch of videos. Check out, went to Star Wars wedding over the weekend, which was cool. It was in Arkansas. My buddy got married. Good stuff. And then, I talked about the Gears of War coming to PlayStation. Talked about Predator Badlands. Talked about Grand Theft Auto 6 being delayed. The Xbox raising the prices, and stuff like that. I got other stuff too, vlogs. We finally had good pizza in Florida. And of course, I do some live streams as well. Like Wednesdays is We Wrestle Wednesdays, and Tuesdays is what we've been doing now. And I got shorts too at the bottom where I just respond to people comments. So I just wanted to show that a little bit if you're new to the channel. And with that being said, I'm gonna get out of here. FCAT, I'll definitely catch you in the Discord. All right, guys. Well, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for paying attention. You guys are nothing less than epic. With that being said, and now your mama knows. Oh, man. Guys, write it down.
And now your mama knows.
I'll make you famous.
Because I'm a cowboy. Oh, man. And now your mama knows.
Bruce, unleash the baby god dragon!